there. It's big, and it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen, and tonight I'm joined by the Tuckster, David Tuckme. How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing really well.
We are doing our big no limit game as we always do on Friday night, 10-20 no limit, unrestricted buy-in, a real action game.
Yeah, and we've made it even more action tonight because it's bluff night.
Tonight we've added a twist. Now David is going to hold up a bottle of wine, which you probably won't be... There we go. This is Caymus 2003 from Napa Valley. It's about a $90 retail here at the bike, and we will be giving this bottle away to the biggest bluffer of the night.
Well, actually, the biggest bluff, right?
The one biggest bluff. The person that has the biggest bluff. And that will be judged by the people that are viewing out there. We're going to be taking votes through the email, live@thebike.com. Of course, you can follow us on 2plus2 by going to 2plus2.com. But the emails will dictate who's going to win that bottle of wine. So it's going to add an interesting twist to the night.
Without a doubt. You know, anytime you put an award in there, these guys are hyped up. Forget about the money. They want to win the bottle of wine.
Right.
And we need your help. Okay, so you got to help us. Pick the biggest bluff of the night.
Biggest bluff of the night. So without further ado, let's get to the action.
Let's do it.
And let's go around that table and introduce the players.
Well, seat 1, we've got Mo. Mo's not sitting there, but he's got some money there. Seat 2, we've got Actually, Loy, sorry. Seat 3, we've got Mike. There's Mike. Seat 4, we've got Ramsey. And there he is. The Ramster. Seat 5, we've got everybody's favorite. It's Jesus. Rockin' and rollin'. Seat 6, we've got Barry Woods. That's right.
Classic.
Barry, don't call me Greenstein Woods.
Yep.
Seat 7, we've got Amir Gazvinian. Just a guess, he might be Persian. Seat 8, we've got Daniel. That's Daniel Quach. And seat 9, we've got Ed Shanazana Raniran. And Ed has already assured me that the bottle is his. He is going to be the biggest bluffer of the night.
Well, just to go around and introduce some of the chip colors to you, the brown chips on the table are $10 chips. The purples are $25 chips. The whites are $100 chips. And if you see some big green ones, they're $1,000 chips. We also have blue $1 tokes on the table. And if you see a yellow, it's a $5 chip. But mainly we're going to be using brown, purple, and white. 10, 25, and 100. 10, 20 blinds in this game. And we are going to hop right into the action. And we've got a razor under the gun in seat 7 with pocket 10s. But seat 3, Mike, he's got aces. And let's see what he does there in the cutoff.
Yeah.
3, re-raise 300.
He's going to make it 300 to go. Looks like the raise was probably about, I want to say maybe 80, Dave, under the gun there.
And he makes it 300.
Yep. And look at that. He mucks pocket 10s like it was nothing.
Wow. Well, it is 10s out of position. That's the problem with it.
Yeah.
Had he had position on the player, it's a different hand. But tough hand to play out of position sometimes.
Mike Wynn, you know any about a lot of the things about these players? Obviously, we've got Jesus there in seat 5. We all know about him. Action player. Usually will commit with top pair regardless of kicker.
Yeah, he didn't buy in for much today here.
Well,
Bought in for only for $1,000. He's only
likes
got
to-
about $520 there.
He
So.
likes to buy in a little bit short.
Thank you, sir.
And, yeah, he likes to buy in short, and if he goes down to felt, you know, he'll just keep rebuying.
Right. And we've actually assured, I've already told Jesus, I go, if he wins, we're giving him a 6-pack of Corona instead of the wine. But it's amazing. If you put like a prize, you put like a bounty out there, in this case a little award, everybody kind of hypes up, and they're willing to bluff $1,000 to win the award. It's all about, you know, because these guys are all competitive. It's, you know.
Ego-driven.
Exactly. And wouldn't be surprised.
Loy has raised here with ace-queen. I think he made it 60 to go. 3 times the big blind. Barry's called with king-queen offsuit in the small blind. Big blind's in there with 9-4, Suited. And here we go. Ace, 8, 9, rainbow. Loy's hit the top pair.
Yeah, Mir's got a second pair there with a backdoor flush draw. But obviously he's far behind.
Loy's probably going to bet about 200 here, Dave, would you say? Let's see here.
150.
Well, he's bet 150, a little under the size of the pot.
Not a bad bet there.
And he's
It's a
gonna
rainbow
take it down.
flop.
He's going to take it down. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see some people mix it up here
Yeah.
to see who gets that bottle of wine.
And it also kind of creates action on the other side, too, because if I'm in this game, and I know that Ed is maybe bluffing a little more than normal because he's trying to win the award, well, am I going to call down a little more often? So, yeah, I'm really psyched for tonight. We're playing No Limit Hold'em, 10, 20 blinds, and there's our first chip count of the night.
So Barry, he likes to cover the table. He's got about 5,000. Now we have Jesus at 3,200, which is a bit peculiar.
Maybe he's got some $1,000 chips we didn't see.
Either that or he busted out a couple of hands before we went on the air. But it certainly doesn't look like he has 3,200 right now.
I always try to tell him, don't gamble yet. Wait 5 minutes.
And everyone else is kind of kicking in around between 1,000 and 2,000 there.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Okay, first bluff. Okay, I gotta get the bottle.
So
Yeah,
I think
and-
Jesus only has 650 now, so maybe he lost a big pot before. 'Cause
Yeah.
Again, we had that chip count as 3,200.
And a new feature here we're serving at Live at the Bike. These players actually get a free meal from our grill restaurant, which is our 5-star restaurant. Filet mignon, sea bass.
Mo's going to bring it in here with ace queen.
110
1,000 behind.
and 1,000 back. 110.
Ace queen of diamonds. And Barry's going to call.
Okay, we're heads up here.
And Barry's called here with the Jack 10 offsuit. So we're heads up here, and Barry has outflopped Mo. Jack 5 deuce, couple of spades.
Yeah, Barry had live cards there. He wasn't that far behind Moa there. So.
And where's the button here on this hand?
Yeah, it is free.
So Barry has position on Mo. Looks like Mo has bet $200 here,
No, it is free.
which is a pretty big bet because I believe the pot was only about 130.
Yeah.
Donna, mixed drink, it means the alcoholic beverage. Soda is soda is not alcohol.
Soda is okay.
Yeah, I'm saying soda
Thank
is okay.
God, soda is okay.
So let's see what Barry does here. He's in position.
The food is $50 and soda is 50 cents. Lobster. I paid.
I mean, I say we give them all free shots.
Yeah.
You know, liquor them up. Then we'll get a game.
Alcohol is not free.
Might have a lawsuit on our hand too, but hey.
Now Barry's going to make a smooth call here, Dave. So we've got about a $560 pot. Now look at that. The turn's a queen. And Mo's going to bet. He's going to bet 800, Dave. Another big bet.
That's the bottom. That's the bottom.
And he says, this is the amount I have left. And I think everyone's saying they're going to, he's earning the bottle of wine now with the bluff, but that is not a bluff.
Definitely not a bluff. He's betting with the best hand.
Yep.
You guys see that, right? Okay, I'm going to get bottle of wine.
It was just a tiny little bluff on the flop, but that's not a big bluff.
That's not a bluff. That's just a continuation.
Exactly. That's
Continuing.
that's more of a bet, hoping that he has the best hand.
Right.
You know, that is maybe his Barry missed a flop also.
Yeah.
Ron Rose a couple of weeks ago versus Dr. Beebe. Now, Dr. Beebe, $5,000 bet on the river. That was a bluff.
Absolutely.
But Ron Rose, it wasn't the certainly wasn't the best bluff though.
I like the way.
Pocket nines here, looks like, for Barry Woods.
Yeah, I decided to go with the goatee look. My wife's out of town, so I'm not shaving.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of it.
Jesus is limped in with 7-5 of clubs, and Barry's going to raise it up here with pocket nine.
A couple of black nines there. Huh?
He makes it 90 to go. And Jesus is on the short stack, so, you know, strategy-wise, Dave, I probably wouldn't make a call with this race when we only have 600 left.
No, you definitely wouldn't. But
Yeah, but he's going to make the call, because we all know Jesus.
we know Jesus, and you are my friend that know Jesus.
Take a brown? You sure?
So Jesus is short chipped, and I got to say, if he's got a 5 or a 7, he's going to commit all his chips.
Well, the problem with this also is even if a high card's come, like a queen or a jack come, I don't think he has enough money to get Barry off the hand.
No.
Come on, Jesus.
Here we go with the flop.
I'm only asking. That's why.
Jack 3-4. He's got a gut shot straight draw.
Yeah.
He checks. Barry's going to bet 300 here. A little over the size of the pot, into about a $210 pot. And again, it becomes almost like, I mean, you're so short chip, Dave, even if you wanted to check raise to make a move, Barry's not going to get away. He's just committed to these chips to the hand.
The only way to win that pot is to bet straight out and hope that Barry throws it away.
I don't think Barry's going to throw it away with just a jack.
No, I agree.
Not to Jesus.
Not with only $400 in front of him.
Yep.
Jesus becomes scary when he has $4,000 or $5,000. Then people start really fearing him. When he has $500, he can't really hurt anybody.
Right.
So,
of course, you can follow us on 2plus2 by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. The Live at the Bike official thread for September 16th. Boy, I remember when we were doing this show in February, Dave.
Time
Who would have
flies.
thunk it? Over 1,400 hours of live poker we've done on the show.
limping around here, Mo's got a big hand. Mo's got big slick.
Yeah, and he's in the small
Yeah,
blind.
seat 8, actually, Daniel just raised it up to 120 with King Jack off suit.
Mo's going to smooth call there from the blind.
Yeah. He likes to. I noticed that he likes to smooth call with his big hands like that. Not a big pair, but more of like he likes to smooth call and raise.
Well, ace-king is a drawing hand.
Exactly. He wants to see where he's at, and if an ace or a king comes out, he thinks maybe he can really kill his opponent if they were raising with ace-jack, or in this case, king-jack.
And is Jesus going to come in here? Yeah, he's going to come in with 6-8. I was going to say, Dave, I mean, odds are that if it was heads up, it might miss everyone, and Daniel could possibly bet and win the hand, but there's a couple people in there now. Well, now the ace comes, and Mo's got the best hand. And Mo has checked blind, I believe.
Yeah, he likes to check there, because he's hoping that Daniel was raising with ace-queen or ace-jack.
Daniel's got king-jack, so he has a gut shot.
And
he
he
gets checked around. He takes the card.
Takes a free card here, and Jesus now has an open-ended straight draw.
Yeah, he had a gut shot on the flop. And now Mo was going to bet. He's going to bet $350 here. That's a little over the size of the pot.
Yep.
And Jesus might commit here with all his chips.
And he is. Well, let's all think of a 4.
I think he might be all in for less, Dave.
Give me a 4.
Yeah, he's all in for $10 less. Let's see the river. The river's a 3. Mo's going to take it down there with ace-king.
I go 4 or 9. No game. Open up the straight.
Yeah, let's see if he goes and rebuys. And we're getting word that Kenna James will be on the show, Dave.
Yeah. And Kenna took a bath last week, huh? You were telling me?
Yeah.
In the Wednesday game, in the
Well,
big in the whale game.
I think afterwards he lost a few thousand or something.
Right.
But, we didn't really see enough of him. But I don't want to tell everyone out there because I don't think it's really fair. But 2 on Wednesday, she dropped 25K, and they changed the game to 200, 400 straight hold'em.
Right.
And she lost a lot after that as well.
Wow. Well, I don't know about 2, but I
There's
know
Kenna.
Kenna James can afford it after
Yeah.
winning 600K.
Yeah.
I give you one more.
There's Kenna. So obviously, I'm sure Donna's going to tell Kenna because he'll be happy to have that promotion with the wine. But he
he'll
definitely
drink the whole
needs to
thing.
know. Yeah. So someone's going to need to fill him in, and I believe he's going to play over Mo, Dave.
Well, I don't know. Kenna will liven this game up right away.
And the way that Mo plays now, it's not a big loss for action for Kenna to play over Mo.
No, yeah, Mo has definitely got a little more reserved in his old age.
Yep. We've got 5-way action here. The pot was limped around. Ace, Jack, 9.
Chicken nuggets.
The best hand is actually low, right?
Looks like it with a Jack. Now, Jesus, he's bought in, it looks like, for 1,000, so he's done the minimum buy, and it gets checked around the turn as a 9. And Amir, who is not in the hand, would have made trip 9s.
Jesus has a club draw as well. He's got the highest club. But Barry's actually made the... Oh, no, he hasn't. Yes, he has. He had made the flush.
Yep. And Loy came out and bet with the Jack, and now Barry's going to raise it up 200 more. And I don't think Loy can do much. He's gonna
No.
fold.
And Barry takes it down there with the flush.
Of course, you can email us at live@thebike.com with questions, comments, suggestions, and we're going to go over this again periodically for people that have joined us late. The biggest bluff of the night, voted by you out there, will win this bottle of Caymus. Caymus Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley.
Yeah, Caymus is a, I know the 95 year is about a $600 bottle of wine. Caymus is one of the best vineyards in Napa Valley.
Not a cheap bottle of wine.
No, this is not a cheap bottle of wine. It's an excellent bottle of wine. Caymus Vineyards, Napa Valley Cabernet.
And we're going to be taking votes at live@thebike.com, Dave.
Yeah, so please email us, and we will update you periodically on who has the lead so far. And if you see a great bluff, feel free to email us in and let us know.
Now, Barry raised here with ace-10 of spades, looked like to 80, and Jesus got a couple of callers, and Jesus is re-raised to 230 with 6-7 offsuit out of the blind, it looks like.
Now, once again, Jesus only has $1,000, so now he has about 700 left, I'd say. So,
is he in the blind there, or did he pull the limp re-raise?
160 more.
So he's pulled the limp re-raise, Dave. The button's actually
yeah, he was under the gun.
Yeah. So it's 180 to call, and look at this. Barry's going to make the call with ace-10. Jesus is definitely representing a big hand here by pulling the limp re-raise.
I thought maybe Ed would move all in.
Reach underneath it. That's what bothers me. Open it and take it. I'm just going to use your card because I don't have one. No, I mean, for the whatever you want. Oh, okay.
$16 brown chips to you.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even know.
And you know what? I'm going to take a 2-second break and just go out here and make sure Cannon knows what's going on.
Okay, yeah, you go
and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Does everybody know?
Oh, it's been okay. Cannon knows.
And here comes the flop. Ace-9 deuce. What a monster flop for Barry.
Yeah.
And Jesus checks here.
300.
And Barry's going to bet 300.
So that $90
and,
bottle of wine actually
takes it down.
3,000.
So is that a bluff there by Jesus pre-flop, Dave? That's probably not going to be the biggest bluff of the night.
No, it's a bluff, but it's not the biggest. So far, it's probably the biggest bluff.
Yeah.
Wasn't successful,
Are we
though.
stipulating that the bluff can also be called, though? Or does it have to win the pot?
We'll judge that. We'll leave the doors open.
When is that over? What time?
Big one. Are you in, Kenneth?
What? Yes, of course I'm in. What am I doing here?
20?
20? You're here to sing to us. All right, now I'll sing those for you. Give us a sample first. A sample of song? Yes. Hey,
So Dave is actually going to go out and explain to the table again the concept.
I heard it's going to cost me $3,000 or something. Only if you move.
The pot has been raised to 100.
Is that what we're
Now, seat 9 here, Ed, he's made it 100 to go. He's got ace-jack of diamonds.
But where's the
And the button also has ace-jack of hearts. And that's Mike Wynn over there, and he's going to make the call.
All right.
Barry Woods has got a king-queen offsuit. Jesus comes in with 4-5 offsuit. And Barry's in there, so we've got a $400 pot brewing.
I'm impressed.
Four-way action, 4 times 100, and here we go to the flop. Deuce, deuce, 5. Jesus has outflopped everyone, but Ed flopped a monster. He's got overcards and the nut flush draw. And he bets half the size of the pot here. He makes it 200 to go. $200 bet. It's now a $600 pot. Jesus has top pair, so you wonder if he's going to check raise all in. Wow, and Mike makes the call with ace-jack of hearts. Oh, Jesus is out of there.
Wow.
Barry's out of there. And Ed's on a free roll. Ace-jack against ace-jack, but Ed has the diamonds.
What is Mike doing in there?
I don't know. And there's the diamond, Dave. Ed's made the nut flush.
And there's no checking in here. Look at him. He's going to bet it out.
That's 400.
Well, by betting your big hands, you are setting up a bluff at some point. If you always check your big hands, it's hard to bet and have anybody believe you. So,
And
we got a close-up of Ray's head.
This show's really moving up, huh? You got
Ray does a
plants
great
back
job. He's a
here
new
now and
cameraman. He's
everything.
working here for a couple of weeks now. Does it for Thursday and Friday nights, and really does a great job.
maybe Mike was just calling to make a move on the turn.
I guess so.
Whenever a show's got plants, you know it's a good show. Are they live? Are those live plants? Looks like they need some water.
And I think he's commenting on our plants.
On our plants. There we go. Button is in seat 4. Small blind is seat 5, $10. Big blind is seat 6, $20.
100, he says.
And I got a $100 bet
Yeah, Jesus is raised out of the small blind.
with
He's got
King, Queen of clubs. Yeah, not bad.
Amir had limped in with King Jack offsuit, and he makes the call. The cutoff's going to make the call with Jack 8 offsuit.
Wow.
And we've got an action table here.
Okay, I got 3
Yeah,
players.
you think?
So here we go. It's about a $360 pot to the flop.
This?
Jack 6-6. Mike's
Uh-oh.
outflopped everyone, but
And
Amir's
Amir's
got the kicker. Amir's King Jack is going to play. And he's going to bet it. Gets checked to him. He bets 200.
Now, that's the problem with playing Jack 8 offsuit. What are you really hoping to hit? I mean, what do you want? Queen 9-10, obviously? I mean,
And we're getting word that Jesus rebought for 3,000.
Well, there we
So
go.
he's got about 3,700 in front of him now.
and that's the thing. Once you get one player in the game like Jesus, who's raising out of the big blind with, pretty much anything, and in this case he actually has a real hand, you get people calling him with kind of questionable holdings.
Well, here we go. Mike Wynn is going to make the call there with Jack 8, and he's in big trouble.
Yep. And Jesus gets away from it. Gets away from not even thinking about it. Got about, what, a $600 pot to the
Yep.
turn?
Turn is an ace.
Well, that's a scare card for both of them. Let's see if they use it.
200.
And he's going to bet here.
That's kind of a scared bet. It's 200 into 600 now. Right?
Well, the pot is now a chop pot, Dave, unless something comes on the river.
Yep.
I mean, Mike got really lucky with the ace on the turn there. Both players have a pair of jacks and sixes with an ace kicker.
Yeah, Mike, it's a tough call here for Mike, though. Man, I mean, if he knew what we knew, he could call, but it's a tough call. Because you got to look at it and go, well, I can't beat the 6, I can't beat a jack, I can't beat an ace. Basically I'm putting my money in there hoping for a chop. Right? All I can beat are, there's no draw out there. It's a rainbow board.
And there you go. He mucks it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he saw me coming. Believe me, anytime they see me coming.
Sometimes you got to look at it like that. You go, I was actually playing this game a couple of days ago. I had ace 10 in the cutoff seat. I had raised. I got a couple of callers. And the flop came out ace, I want to say ace,
Ramsey?
king, ace like 4-4, something like that. Okay? And then when the turn came out and it was a jack, and the guy bet right into me, I was looking at it going, I'm like, man, I can't really beat anything, except the pure bluff. I can't beat any ace. I'm going to chop it up because it's going to be aces and, both of them 2 pair with a jack kicker. Why put money in there just to chop it? To hope to chop it.
So Kenna's playing in seat 1. Limped around. So 5-way action times 20, it's a $100 pot. Barry was making some change there for Jesus.
5 players.
Jesus has the button. And here we go to the flop. All spades. 8-6 deuce. No one really has a super high spade. Daniel's got the jack of spades.
Yeah, Mike's got open-ended here.
With the 7. And he's going to bet the size of the pot there with 7-9 of spade, with the 7-9 with the open-ended straight draw.
Well, you always point out, you always say it's a nice time to bluff into a pot, right?
Yeah, 3 flush.
It's hard for anybody to call you. And in this case, Mike's actually got a draw.
Especially with the high scare card too, Dave. It's you can really bet out into a
Oh, without a
into,
doubt.
into
Yeah.
a 3 flush
If they
because
see it, then. Don't you understand?
Well, it's hard even for the jack of spades there. It's hard for him to call.
right.
Because he doesn't even know if he's drawing to the nuts. He doesn't know if he's drawing. He could be drawing dead.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
I actually used to live there.
No. Don't tell anybody that.
Pot's been raised to 70.
Barry Woods is going to raise here. 9-10 offsuit. He makes it 70 to go. Jesus had limped in there in the cutoff with 9-3
Well, I
offsuit.
used to live in Michigan, but I never.
Actually, no, that was his bet. He
Oh,
raised
excuse
it
me.
9-3.
That was Barry who bet that.
Now, that's a nice bluff.
There you go.
Hardly the biggest bluff, but probably one of the biggest bluffs of the night.
He steals the blinds with 9-3 offsuit.
There you go. Okay.
Farm back there. My brother.
So again, it's open to interpretation whether the bluff has to succeed or not, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it's a tremendous bluff and it just doesn't work, but it's a tremendous attempt,
Yeah.
we got to give him some points for that.
A la Gore versus Barry Woods from 4 or 5 months ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something where it's just a tremendous attempt and it just didn't work,
Right. $4,000 bluff.
Can I say you bluff off $4,000? You deserve a $90 bottle of wine.
If I moved all in at this point and won the hand, would this count as $5,000 as winning the biggest bluff?
Ken is asking that.
That's the question.
Do 7 spades.
Does it have to be called? Would it if I had moved all in?
Donnie,
there,
you can tell people that it does not have to be
That
called.
would that be the biggest
Are they
bluff?
talking about the biggest dollar or just the
$3,000 in
Yeah,
for a
I
bottle
don't
of
know.
wine.
Deuce
Oh,
5
it's
queen
voted, It's
here.
voted on anyway.
Well,
Check.
look at.
Check. I guess you probably got to win the biggest pot with the worst hand. I guess that's.
Turn is an 8. It got checked.
Well,
around.
Mike's got a set there now.
Yep.
Kenna was actually in the lead there
Yeah.
with his pair of deuces. But not anymore. Mike's got a set.
120.
Who is Kevin Mack?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Mike has
You
bet.
never met? Where's he from?
And he's going to take it down.
Take it down, Mike.
Drink
See
there.
3 there.
You kill him?
No worries, mate. No, I got it.
So he
Okay, that's
backs
okay.
into a set of 8s
Don't
there
worry,
as
you
it got
can still
checked
beat
around
me
on
in
the
a pot.
flop.
I'm not gonna- But I gotta appreciate it.
Here's your 10 back. He's buying the button.
He is?
You could do it next hand.
So
You could be small blind next time. I just want to tell you so
don't
that,
rush it. You can be next.
so that you.
Once again, we are live at the bike. We're watching No Limit Hold'em, high stakes No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are $10.21 and $10.20.
Russians are coming.
You are Russian.
And there's
I
Marie,
know that because Russian.
fine looking Russian girl.
Cocktail waitress.
Russians are coming.
70.
Barry's going to raise here. He's got King, Queen of Hearts. He makes it 70 to go. Seat 7's going to call it pocket 8.
270.
And Ace Queen offsuit's going to come over the top for 270. Ed.
There you go. Well, he's got the best hand. Well, actually, he doesn't have the best hand.
I'm a belly man. Just
Certainly a better hand than Barry.
no, you're first. You're number 1. Time
So it's going to be 200 to
how
call.
much?
270 straight for the people that haven't
Live at bike.
that have just limped in.
Time.
And Barry was the original raiser?
Barry was the original raiser,
Okay.
and you've got a re-raise. Now, people can say, well, Jesus can call here because he's got enough money. Well, you don't exactly know what Barry's going to do. It's a tough spot to call in between
Right, exactly.
a raise and a re-raise.
If Barry's got kings instead of king queen and Barry comes over the top, then what do you do?
Yeah. Ramsey's going to lay down his ace-3, but Jesus is going to call.
Yeah.
And if he calls and Barry calls, you might see pocket 8s call as well.
Well, I think it is correct to call for
Actually, Amir has mucked, though.
Amir Mock, I would have called
He
there.
might not have that much money. He maybe only has 800 or 900. And the flop comes 10, 10-6, couple of hearts. Barry's picked up the flush draw.
Jesus still has the best hand here, though.
And Ed's going to bet 270 here. And the pot, Dave, is about $800, so that's a weak bet there. It's about $850 pot.
Yeah.
Now the pot
Right on the money.
is now $1,100, $270 for Barry to call, and for Jesus to call.
And you can learn a lot from bets. You can look at that bet and go, he had ace king or ace queen and he didn't hit.
Let's see what Barry
Obviously
has
easy for us to say that, but you can kind of interpret that from the bet.
here. Barry just smooth calls.
Yeah? He's going to take the cheap price.
Yeah.
He is behind still.
Now, if he makes a big raise on the turn, he could represent a 10 here. He could be setting up a play to raise regardless of what
Possibly.
comes on the turn.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's a queen, and that's not the
Uh-oh.
card that he wanted.
Uh-oh, this is trouble.
It's $1,100 pot. Ed bets 270 again, and Barry just calls.
Oh, and that's Ed's got to step it up there. It's $1,100. Actually, a $1,300
and
pot.
now it's now a $1,600 pot. And the river is a 4, and ace queen's going to be good.
And Ed dodged a bullet there. And he's made it limit hold'em here. He's just going to continue
He's gonna
betting
bet 270 again.
Keeps going up.
So it's now a $1,900 pot, 270 to call. I mean, can Barry lay this one down with king queen?
Yeah.
The pot's
See,
so big.
Funny, I don't mind the river bet, 270. But the turn bet, you've got it. It's a $1,300 pot. I'm going to bet at least half the pot. Maybe more.
Barry's thinking about it here.
Because Barry would have called that on the turn, for
Yeah,
sure.
oh, absolutely. Again, I'm surprised that Barry hasn't made a move here throughout the hand.
Well,
He's
you
got
know,
top pair with the flush draw on the turn.
You know what? On the turn, I think he just figured, I've got such a big draw, and if I raise and Ed comes up the top, then what do I do?
Look at Barry. Is he thinking about laying it down?
I think so. He
Wow,
does.
he lays it down. Maybe he knows Ed well enough where he thinks that he's got an overpair.
He's played with Ed a lot of times. And that does not constitute as a bluff. Definitely not.
No. Unbelievable. Unbelievable action here at Live at the Bike.
So the thing we learned from that is you bet the same whether you have a pair or don't have a pair. Yeah. 270. Bet 270 no pair. Makes top pair 270.
When I grow up, I want to be just like him. Just like me? I want to be. If I ever grow up.
What is this?
That's your
Hey,
one
I'm a
of your
surgeon.
small blinds
I
or a
can
big
handle.
I
blind.
guess like Kenneth looks pretty good. He looks well rested
Hey, doesn't matter.
after winning,
All you need is a
came in
pair
second
of
place in that
scissors.
Legends of Poker main event here about 3 weeks ago.
Small and I
Probably took a couple of, probably took a week off and really slept well.
Look at this. We're getting an email here from Marianne Jarvis.
brought it to your attention.
I think she's a Jesus groupie, Dave. She says, I want to meet Jesus. I told Donna to introduce him to me, but she didn't. I'd like his style.
Tell him to email me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
C8's got pocket queens, and he makes it 150 here
Jesus
to
is
go.
somewhat shy. I'm not sure if he'd feel comfortable.
$150 for pocket queens. Ace jack off suit. Ed, he calls. Big blind's got pocket tens. That's Loy over there, and he's going to make the call.
Got about a $500 pot going to the flop here.
Yeah.
Jesus is thinking about it with 4-6.
He's in there.
$600 pot's the flop, huh?
Yep.
4 players here.
Well, 6 times 150 is a $900 pot.
That would be good, but it's only
Oh,
4
it's
people on it, though.
Yeah, 4 people. Ace 10 queen here, a couple of clubs, and Daniel's hit a set. And you wonder,
Wow,
Ed,
this is huge.
Oh,
Oh,
look at this set,
set
over
over
set
set.
with Ace Jack.
Oh,
this
wow.
is going to be a monster hand.
Oh, this is going to be huge.
Set over set with Ace Jack, and Lloyd bets 400 here.
And I like the bet he bets right into the razor, hoping somebody has ace king or ace queen.
And Daniel's going to push all in. He's going to move all in here, Dave.
Well, he wants to get the club draw, any club draw out there.
Yeah, that's a scary board, too, to screw
Yeah,
around
exactly.
with the set.
He doesn't
Let's
want
see
it.
how much it is.
He figures the pot's big enough for Eddie.
Pot's been raised to 390, 1390.
$1,390 total, so it's a $400 bet. That's $1,000. It's a $2,400 pot, and it's $1,300 for Ed to call. I think he can
Yep.
get away from this one. But Lloyd's not going anywhere.
Yeah, you know what? If you're Ed here, you got to sit there and go, there's no way my ace is
Yeah.
good here. No way.
Start first.
Yeah.
What our bucks is quality.
$1,300 for Ed to call, and when Lloyd makes this call, Dave, set over set, it's going to be a $3,200 pot. And I'm sure he thinks he has the best hand.
Well, you might put the other guy on. You might put the guy on ace king of clubs.
Yeah.
You might put him on ace queen, 2 pair.
He looks pretty relaxed over there.
Well, he's got a set. I mean, it's set over set. This is a tough hand to get away from. Real tough.
Of course, the guy could have aces or queens.
Right. If he's got aces or queens, you're dead. Right now,
There's no way Ed can make this call, right? $1,300?
I don't think so.
And then the question is, how much does Loy have behind him? Because if Ed makes the call, Loy could re-raise again.
Yeah, I think Lloyd came in a little short.
Short chipped.
Yeah, a little short stacked, yeah. But we'll get to that in a second. Ed thinking about it, though. It's a big pot, you know. It's tough for him to get away from an ace.
$2,300 pot, $1,300 for Ed to call.
There's not much he can beat here. I mean, what can he beat? What does he think? The first guy bet with club draw, and the second guy raised with ace 5?
Hey, can't beat ace king, can he?
Can't beat ace queen, king. Can't beat ace queen. Can't beat ace 10. Can't beat anything.
And, well, the action's back over to Loy. This would be a huge laydown, Dave.
He's got 4 in.
He's got 1,100 left. It's going to be all of it if he calls. And if he calls, it'll be about a $3,600 pot.
$2,300 pot, and it's going to be the rest of his money to call.
Come on, baby, win this spot.
And he's going. Is he going to call?
I got root for him.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
Yeah, he did
He
call.
called.
The turn is the deuce of diamonds, and the river is the king of diamonds. Wow.
And Ed would have gotten there.
Yeah. And the set of queens is going to take it down.
Ed would have gotten there.
Wow. And that's going to be all of his money there.
You know-
Over a $3,000 pot.
Wow, about a $3,600 pot that Daniel takes down there with a set of queens over a set of tens, and Ed would have won on the river there with the king, and would have hit his gut shot. Wow. And that's just tough luck there, set over set.
Oh, you would have won.
When he called you, I knew it.
There's the raise, okay.
There's diamond on that board.
That's a tough play down.
No, no more straight.
Can you play down like that, man? Ace Jack?
No.
Well, he could have
That's
won.
too bad.
If he calls, he wins.
For the $1,000 raise.
I don't think so.
Nobody chips, please.
The only thing at that point would have beat you was what he had. You had to put him on a
And just in response to Russ McGinley, I'm not sure if I said a pair of deuces was beating a pair of eights. Maybe I didn't see the pair of eights.
Ah.
You can beat.
Well, this, of course,
Either
this
way.
is live.
Obviously, yeah. Wow, what a hand
Dave,
there.
don't get all Yana on us, please.
No, I know.
I like to give money away. I'm a giver.
Going postal. That's it. Now, obviously, we are live. We're unedited, unscripted, so once in a while, Barter or myself, we don't see the cards as quickly as you might even.
Program.
But here I do know that Amir has got ace-king offsuit here. Big slick. The button is in seat 1. Ken has got the button.
Dave, would you ever be able to get away from that hand? There with pocket tens?
Ever? I'd like to think I could once or twice in my life, but it's tough.
With that, I'm talking about the money that was in there.
Yeah,
in the pot.
it's tough. There's just a lot of hands the guy might do it with. You know, ace-king of clubs being one hand, or ace-queen, two pair.
But it doesn't matter.
Well, Amir has raised here, and Mike, or Loy's picked up 4-5 suited, and Mike's got pocket tens. How much did Loy rebuy in there for? He
1,000 pot has
bought
been
2,000.
re-raised to 1,000.
And look at this, Jesus! He pulls the limp re-raise again. He's fired out a green chip.
1,000.
$1,000 re-raise. It looks like. I believe that he was under the gun.
We're gonna find
The
out.
button is in.
Seat 1.
Yeah,
So he's
so
in
it's
early
a
position.
limp re-raise
Yeah.
with ace 9.
Probably.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
This is a big bluff.
Yeah, really. $90 one on one is going to cost him a
And if we can get seat 5 here, we can get Jesus. That'd be great.
We can ask.
Close to seat 5. We're almost there. There we go. And that is a green chip. That is a $1,000 chip. And wow,
Amir's going to call.
Amir is calling. Or is he moving all in? I guess it is all in for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm saying he probably has.
No, he calls.
And he
Dave.
just
He's
calls.
got more
Well,
behind.
might as well just throw it all
Yeah.
in then.
Now, Mike's got pocket tens. And he looks like he might be short chipped.
He's got a lot of white chicks.
How much
See,
does
now,
Mike have there?
I can call Jesus. I can call one guy, but if I'm Mike here, you can't call. I mean, we see that he's actually in really good shape. But that's a really...
Well, Mike's got some whites there. It looks like he's got 1,600 in front of him, and he makes the call, Dave.
He calls. We
He
got
calls.
$3,200 pots. The flop.
And Jesus has a couple of greens behind him. So we got
Wow.
still more action to go here.
I told everybody it's the
man.
biggest bluff, not the biggest call. I'm not sure what they're going for here.
$3,200 pot. Now, seat 7, Amir, he's almost all in. Mike, though, he's got some chips left. Here
Come on,
we go.
nines. Come on, nines. And Jesus is in really bad shape.
8-4-6, pocket 10 still in the lead here. And he's going to move all in, Dave, for it looks like for maybe 500 or 600 there.
You sure?
So it's about 600. So it's a $3,800 pot.
Now, if you're Amir, I mean, if you're Jesus and Amir, do you just call anyway? The pot's so big.
And just check it down? No, Jesus is going to muck.
In increments of 10.
And Jesus tried.
Now, Amir is pretty much pot committed. He only has got about 200
Oh, of course.
left. Yeah. So it's going to be about, I want to say, probably about a $3,600 pot. Now, obviously, one of the aces is dead. Amir would have to catch an ace or a king here.
Yeah, he's in bad shape. 2 aces left and 3 kings left. That's it.
That's even better.
Mike's in real good shape.
Yeah.
You have ace 9. Okay, better than a small pair.
Here we go to the turn. Turns at 9.
Still might not
Would have given Jesus a pair, and the river is a 5.
No good.
And pocket tens is going to take it down there.
And just like that, Mike becomes about, what, $2,500 richer?
Yeah. Wow.
It's king.
And that's what happens in this game. We saw Amir earlier throw down pocket tens, pocket eights without even thinking about it, right? To a small raise. But here, Jeeves is kind of mixing it up, kind of gets the table on tilt almost, and you see Amir basically calling up his hand with just ace-king.
Yep.
Wow. Amazing stuff going on here.
Any chips, Donna?
This game is insane. We are live at the bike, and we're playing No Limit Hold'em.
Look at what the wine does there, Dave. I mean, Dave, remember, we did have that one hand, and I don't know if you were in the booth with me. One hand in 1,500 hours where we had set, over set, over set. One
Right.
time. We had it one time. And the guy actually mucked top set on the turn.
Hey,
100.
sometimes, you just got to know your beat. Even if you're not sure what the other guy has, you just look at him and go, I know I'm beat.
Jesus is going to raise here under the gun to 100, this time with ace-4. Ed makes the call with ace-rag, ace-8 offsuit.
Yeah.
I don't know how Kenna, the action in this game is intense.
Well, it's hard to mix it up. It's hard to be the action guy when you've got guys like Jesus and, Amir and Ed. Mike, too. I mean, Mike makes an overcall with pocket tens.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out okay for him, but
Action's
man,
like
that's a
Kenna.
tough
I don't know
call.
if he knows it.
Well, when are you going to let me know? Forget it. I got to go to the bathroom and make a flush.
Thank you, Cowboy. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Good old Kenna.
3 players.
And we get three-way action. Pocket sixes is going to come in there.
and he's not even drinking yet.
Here we go with the flop 10-8-4. Deuce 8 is not in the hand.
Yeah, Ramsey's actually. Oh, Ramsey's not in the hand either, actually.
Ed has got ace 8. He is the best hand. Amir, he put a bet in here from up front with pocket sixes.
Everybody's got a piece of it.
And Ed just smooth calls there. Action's over to Jesus. Jesus is going to muck bottom pair.
We're heads up.
Heads up, sixes against ace 8.
Oh.
Oh, and the turn's a 4. Jesus would have made trip 4s.
Yeah. I think we should tell the grill to make sure that we serve dinner to Jesus very slowly so he doesn't go anywhere.
Look at this, though. Ed, Amir. Amir's going to move all in here. About $600
That's a
there,
tough
Dave.
call for Ed.
He's betting about the size of the pot.
And that's a tough call. This will be the first bluff of the night, and it doesn't work.
No, Ed's going to call. You're right, because if you're Ed, there aren't a lot of things you can beat there.
No, not at all.
And the river is a jack, and Ed's going to take it down there with the pair of 8s.
I mean, the only thing you can pay attention to is the fact that Amir just lost a big hand with ace-king,
Yep.
and then he might be tilting a little bit, and sure enough, he steams up another $1,000.
So we're not using this? We're just taking a selection every pot, or we're taking something here too?
No, you're going to 4 here and $1 there.
Are you a big wine guy, Dave?
My dad is actually a big wine guy. He retired a couple of years ago, and just really got into wine. He took a trip out to Napa, and when he was in Spain and France, he just likes to go to the vineyards and stuff. Got himself a little wine cellar.
Do they actually stomp on the grapes with bare feet in those vineyards?
I don't know.
No.
I think they do.
Yeah.
Like the I Love Lucy episode.
Yeah.
I think they do. And it's the old-fashioned way of doing it. I'm sure they have some sort of machines that do it as well now. But the older I get, the more my palate seems to like wine.
Funny thing, too, is sometimes you can find it at health stores and places like Trader Joe's where you can get unsweetened grape juice that's like grape.
Right.
Purple from purple grapes.
Oh, okay.
Now, all the time, those are just usually grape drinks.
Right.
But that's
actually grape juice.
right. Or red grape juice. as
Oh,
well,
okay.
Which is what wine is made from if it's a red wine.
Raise 100.
Mike Wynn there on the button. He's going to make it 100 to go with ace-3 suited. A couple of limpers in front.
And Mike win a lot tonight, huh?
Yeah. And Barry makes the call there with pocket sixes. Jesus is in there with queen deuce. So we got about a $320 pot. Jack deuce 7.
Barry's
Barry
still at the best hand there.
He's got the best hand. And he gets checked around.
Yeah, Barry's just chomping on his salad here. Doesn't really care.
Turns a 3. Well, now's the time to bet. A lot of people might bet the flop there, too, with sixes. See where you're at.
Yeah. How does Mike think he's the best hand here? Wow.
Well, he makes the call.
Just calls there. I would have liked to raise there.
Yeah, I would probably raise or fold. The river is a queen.
Well, let's see if he can represent clubs here, if he bets the river.
Barry's going to check. Yeah,
Nope.
no, he gives up. There's so many things that you can represent there on that river, Dave.
Oh.
I mean,
Sixes.
You can represent the queen. You can represent...
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Barry kind of played it like he had a 7, you know?
right.
He didn't like the jack, so he checks it. Then he bets the turn. He gets called.
In essence, he had what is almost as good as a 7 there.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be
Pocket
honest. I
sixes.
think Mike played that about as bad as you can play it. Smooth calling and then just checking it. Why not take a fire at it?
Well, some people would say, like our notorious poster on 2+2, Dave, that would be a bluff catcher to call the turn and then just check it down on the river.
Right, okay. I'll give that to you.
I don't necessarily agree with that guy. but-
Right. I'll give it to you. I mean, in the sense of, yeah, obviously it's a bluff catcher, but
Yeah.
I know, to me, you got to pick your spots. I don't need to catch everybody's bluff. You know what I mean? If somebody wants to bluff me out, okay, you're the bigger man. Good job. Well done.
4-way action here. Queen 10-5, couple of clubs.
Yeah, Mike's
Mike?
got top pair.
And Amir, he's going to bet out with pocket sixes here. He bets 40.
Well, he's pretty consistent with his sixes. He likes to bet them, no matter what comes in the flop.
And Mike makes it 400 to go.
Nice play by Mike. He doesn't have much of a kicker, but
Donna, give me some yellow.
wants to get any draws out.
And he's going to take it down.
And you see the stark contrast there between checking and calling and checking and then raising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to welcome everybody that found us through Windows Media Player.
Yep.
We're on the front page of that all week. And welcome you to Live at the Bike. We
The
do a-
only cash game ever to present hole cards, dude.
Yeah. And we are live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Pot is limped around here. Ace 10-9. Couple of clubs. Mir has the best hand. Turns a 3. Now he's going to bet. Got checked on the flop, and he's going to take it down.
Rock and rolling. You psyched for the football this weekend?
Absolutely. Who did the Jets play?
The Jets play Miami in New York.
Now, the Patriots have a difficult game at Carolina. They're only favored by 3 points.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Panthers actually lost their best defensive player for the season last week.
Mm-hmm.
So, Patriots might be able to handle them.
A rematch from 2 Super Bowls ago.
Yeah.
Time.
Jets are in kind of must-win mode, though. Have to beat Miami and New York.
Well, it's a big AFC division game. Those games
Exactly.
are always important.
And the Jets can't go 0-2. They cannot afford to go 0-2.
Barry's going to raise it up here with ace-10,
Yeah.
and he's going to take it down.
And he's
Yep.
kind of playing the players, too. He's playing... When it gets checked to him on the button, I think he thinks the players in seat 7 and seat 8, we got Amir and Daniel there, I think he thinks they're somewhat tighter pre-flop than, say, a Jesus would be or an Ed would be. So he's taking advantage of that.
Thanks, babe.
One of the reasons why those in-division games are so important, people don't realize, is that football only has 16 games in a season, and that is the number one tiebreaker if you're tied. If
Oh,
you're
of
tied
course.
with somebody in the same division for a
Right.
wild card, or for the division championship.
Right.
That is the tiebreaker, division record. Look at Barry Woods. He's scarfing down those greens.
Yeah. Actually, looks good. I'd love a salad right now.
Limp, limp. Three-way action. Here we go to the flop. Ace, king, ace.
We haven't seen any really, really big bluffs yet. There have been a couple of bluffs pre-flop. But none of the ones I kind of envisioned happening later on.
The river's a 10.
This is a chop pot here.
Amir and Daniel both have straights.
And it's your best 5 cards in Hold'em, so they both have, obviously, a straight.
Amir
Ace,
bets
king.
60. Daniel calls.
Queen, two straights.
Chop it up.
I got a 4, 3, 4.
And did Jesus say that he was going to trade the bottle of wine for Corona?
He didn't mention it. He just laughed. He didn't say. So we'll have to see.
What happened to the hat? JLT.
I don't know. He was playing much better when he was wearing it, though.
And small here, big here, please.
Sequoia National Park. Have you been there?
I have not.
No?
Big trees, though.
Big bears.
Grizzly bear?
It looks like a grizzly bear. I went to Alaska a couple summers ago, and that was phenomenal. I was actually probably 10 feet from, 10 or 12 bears.
Well, actually, my dad, he was
Phenomenal
stationed
thing.
in Alaska in the Army, and he told me that the brown bears are bigger than the grizzly bears
Oh,
in
yeah,
Alaska.
yeah.
They're gigantic.
Huge.
Yeah. Pot is limped around here. Ace, king, 9 on the flop.
But the funniest thing is I think they're more scared of you than you're of them. Which just seems so silly.
Supposedly, if they stand on their feet, they're up to 10 feet tall. Up
Yeah.
on their hind legs.
Yeah, I imagine so. They're just enormous.
Yeah. Got checked around on the flop.
Yeah, a couple of straight draws now. Actually, just one straight draw, sorry. Amir's got a straight draw, he's got a real draw. Daniel's got the gut shot, needs a jack. And I believe he still has, no, actually, Barry has a pair of 5s, which is the best hand. Barry bets it and he gets called by Amir.
River's a 9.
9 is no good. I think Barry's reaching for chips here.
80.
Well, he's
He's
going
gonna-
to bet.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought that the guy had a 4 and he was making a value bet there at the end.
Yeah. Or he might have thought he might have even put the guy on a king. See if he can get him off it.
Did you want to buy the button, sir? Small and big, please.
I tell you, this new feature of feeding the players like this from the grill gets me starving.
Oh, here we go with the chip count. So Lloyd there in C2, boy, he's rebought because he was down.
Well, he lost about 2,000 there. So
Ken has got 5,000. Barry's down about 1,400. And Jesus, of course, he's rebought a couple times. He's down about 3 or 4 Gs.
20.
Ramsey picking up the rear with 1,000. We haven't heard a thing out of Ramsey, have we? Has he played a hand all night?
And Mike is going to raise it up here with pocket 6s.
He's
From
got the button.
Makes it 120 to go. Jesus is called with ace 10. Now
Yep.
Barry's thinking about calling with king queen. But Mike's played it pretty tight, so I think he's thinking, even if I hit one of my cards, I don't know if it's good.
All right.
$240 pot to the flop. Ace 10 against pocket 6s.
Oh, there's a 6.
Flop's a set. 9-5-6. Couple of hearts.
Check.
And Jesus is in the hand, but he's not even at the table.
200.
And $200 bet there by Mike. Don't think Jesus is going to call here, Dave.
Well, I just called him and told him not to.
Only you and me?
And he shows it.
Ken is back.
Where you been?
I went to make a flush. I ran into the nuts.
No, he still have it.
Oh my goodness! This is a
We're too
broadcast
easy,
TV.
we're too easy.
Oh my goodness!
Nothing like that Coors Light, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ken has
good.
been real busy lately, obviously, after coming in second place in the Legends of Poker main event. Between appearances, and I'm sure his agent had him running around, so glad he could grace us with his
Holy
presence.
cow! Look at how much alcohol in it. Last time I seen somebody have that much alcohol in a glass, they were getting a tooth removed. You're supposed to, is it up to me? Do I have an option now?
Yes.
I'm going to raise this pot.
I'm sorry.
Ken is going to raise.
I'm going to raise this pot.
He's
make it-
posted dead,
I'm going
Dave.
to make it one white.
And I think he's got eights.
Yep, pocket eights.
Couple of red eights here.
And he
Last
makes
time
it
I saw somebody drink
110
that much
to go.
Alcohol, they were having a tooth pulled without a dentist with a pair of pliers.
And considering we have a bluffing contest tonight, the biggest bluffer gets
You're not a
the
dentist,
bottle of
are you?
wine. Not too much bluffing going
I
on.
want to make sure I didn't offend you, and that's the reason you called. Did you call 102?
4 players.
So we're going to see four-way action here. About a $450 pot. 795. Now, Jesus, he's got top pair with the gut shot.
Right? Ed's got bottom pair of the gut shot.
Not a bad flop for pocket eights, though. And Ken is going to bet about the size of the pot, 440. And let's see what Jesus does here.
And Jesus hasn't won a pot all night, but look at this.
440.
He calls.
He's
Dave.
found somebody he can beat.
He calls, and he's got about 1,200 behind, it looks like. He's got one of those green chips.
Yeah, and Ken is in really bad shape. He needs Jesus to hit 2 pair.
Pot is now about $1,300. Action's over to Ed.
You had it correct.
Yeah, he just changed it some more, that's it.
I know, but he put
Wait,
more.
that
he
100
put
is
more-
his. That 100 is yours there. You gave him 100 too much.
I don't know if Ed can call here, Dave, with 5-8.
I mean, unless you guys are partner in this hand, then you can give him as much as you want.
Later.
I do that at night later when we're home.
Oh wow, this game.
This is my game.
Wow.
This game.
And while Ed thinks about it, they're
yeah,
munching
they
down on lobster.
There's no
Of course,
lobster and
look at
filet
that.
mignon.
Of course, that's a new feature here at Live at the Bike. You can get anything from the grill.
Yeah. 5-star restaurant.
Wow, look at the size of that filet. My goodness.
What happened? All right, while he's thinking, I'm going to go feed the.
That reminds me of the Hilltop back in Boston, for all the North Massachusetts folk.
It's a little lucky.
Before they sold the restaurant.
What is Ed thinking about here?
I don't know. He's
Come
got
on,
a lot.
Ed. Bottom pair of the gut shot.
So we're heads up. Pocket eights against 6.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the turn is a 6.
Jesus makes 2 pair, but Kenna gets the straight.
Oh boy. And Kenna has checked. And he's setting the trap.
Oh, poor Jesus.
Jesus bets 500.
And Ed's probably kicking himself because he would have made the same straight.
And Kenna's going to check raise them all in
Really?
here.
You got an 8? How could you?
And Jesus quickly calls.
Yeah.
And the river is an ace, and it's no good. Kenna's going to take it down with the straight. And
Tough break. Very noisy, isn't that? Nice trouble.
And Kenna
Kenna
takes it down.
Yeah.
What was that, about $2,000 pot?
Yeah.
Actually, $2,500 when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Take it down, Kenna. Well, that'll give Kenna some ammunition to bluff with later on. And Jesus, are we losing Jesus, or is he just eating now? And he's just eating.
Oh,
Wonder
We're
what
find
he
out what
ordered out
Jesus
of the
does for a
grill.
living.
Yeah. Oh, he's
I
in.
was going to ask you, but you were eating. I'm sorry.
No, I
You're
don't
right.
need anything else.
Why did she deal him out there, Dave, if you didn't ask?
50.
Oh, interesting. Jesus turned around to eat, but he hadn't missed a blind or anything.
No.
No.
bacon wrapped.
Oh, and that's why we haven't heard from Ramsey. He's eating food.
No, that's not gonna. That can't have too many calories in it.
Gotta tell you, if we're gonna give these guys free food,
Yeah,
we
they got to play.
we gotta make sure they're playing while
Yeah.
they're eating.
Yeah.
You know, I like crab much better than
Kenny,
lobster.
150. Kenna, 150 to go.
All right.
$150 raise there by Mike. And Kenna's going to call.
Yeah, Kenna wins a couple of pots. He's really gonna start playing.
Wow, King, Jack.
Two hearts though.
Picked a flush draw. He checks. Mike is going to check right behind him. Wow. Turn is a 4. Now Kenna has a pair and a flush draw.
Two pair. I got the best hand here.
400.
And he bets $400.
And Mike really played this pretty passively here.
Yeah, yes.
Even if Kenna hadn't hit the turn, Kenna's going to bet that, no matter what. And Mike pretty much gave the pot away.
Well, you wouldn't be concerned that Mike might have been slow playing 3 kings there in that spot?
Well, I'm definitely going to fire at it, though, to see, right? And if he raises me here, or if he even calls, I'll shut down. I'm just saying, if you raise with ace-queen, right, and you only get one caller, and it gets checked to you, and you check also, well, then you're basically giving the pot away. You're inducing a bluff.
Well, I can't imagine that he could just call here, David, on
Right.
the turn. I mean, this is a clear-cut raise or fold situation, I would think.
Well, once he checks the turn, he's really got to give it up, to be honest with you. I think.
Checks the flop,
Yeah, I mean, it checks the flop. Thank you.
and he's going to fold. And Kenna takes it down.
And Kenna is on fire.
Look at this. Jay Destiny has emailed us. He's taking exception to your defensive knowledge of Carolina, Dave. He says that Julius Peppers is by far a better player than Chris Jenkins. So there you
Might
go.
be Julius Peppers plays end and is excellent. Chris Jenkins is the anchor of their middle of their defensive line, and Chris Jenkins is definitely going to be hurt. His loss is going to hurt then. We'll see though. We'll see this weekend how they respond. I happen for one. I hope so because I have Carolina's defense on my fantasy team.
Ace Queen of Hearts here for seat 9.
Yeah, Ed's got the ace queen there.
And I think he's in position too, Dave. Oh no, he's in the blind,
Big blind.
and he's gonna raise.
The raise is 150.
He's raised $150 here.
150. He's going to just try to take it down, huh? Mike likes to call, though. He called me some call early with Jack 8. And he does. Calls a Jack 10 offsuit, $150.
150 more. I brought everything in, so it's 150 more.
Man,
Against a kind of a pretty tight player there for Ed in the big blind.
Oh, I see. Food's here. Just forget the meat.
seems like some of these players have it kind of backwards. You can raise with any 2 cards, but when you're calling a raise, you really should have something pretty strong.
2 players.
And we are heads up here. Jack 10 against Ace Queen.
And this is what I mean in the sense of your heads up with ace queen here. You got to bet this. You can't assume that your opponent has hit the flop.
230.
He bets 230.
If he were to just check this, Mike could bet and take it away.
Is Mike going to make a move here?
Well, he's got a gut shot. He doesn't like to lay down hands, I don't think.
I just had a phone call. They told me what hand you've got.
And he calls.
Well-
Wow. He just calls, Dave. Again, I wonder, is he setting up a move on the turn?
He's so
Or is
used
he
to
just
betting
calling?
270.
He might be able to set up a move here. Ed doesn't have anything.
Pot's about
And your mouth said
$700
230.
now.
Your mouth betrayed you.
Turn is an 8. Now he's open-ended. He's picked up extra outs. See what Ed does. He's going to continue to bet. And he's going to bet the kind of that limit style.
Yeah, his magic number.
270. And Mike just calls again. $1,200 pot now.
And if Mike raised at any of these spots,
Yeah.
he'd probably take the pot down.
I agree. You gotta get Diablo on this game.
Oh,
And the river's a 7. He's made the straight.
He just won a tournament yesterday.
He did. Where at?
And Ed's going to bet, looks like 270
So
again.
he chopped it 3 ways.
and this is one of those plays where, I mean,
Now, Mike has the absolute nuts here, Dave.
yeah,
There's
Mike
no
Mike
flush
kind
out
of
there.
backed into it.
Yeah.
I want to call that first and I raise, okay?
All right, so you're going to call the 230 or 270.
Yeah.
And he's going to raise here, Dave.
Well, he's got the nuts. I'd hope he raise.
Another
He's going to
1,000.
raise $1,000. There's a green chip there. And obviously Ed's got ace queen.
And some people can make the argument that, well, Mike was letting him bluff at him. But Ed had the best hand.
Right.
If Mike doesn't catch a 7 or a
Right.
queen there,
Right.
then what does he do?
I mean, if you said that Mike had pocket tens there and he was just going to call them all the way down, then
Okay. I can make, you can
Right.
make that argument. With
Right.
Jack 10, though, you've got to raise it. Or get real lucky and hit your river. And we've seen Ed make some really strange calls in the sense of I've seen him call down guys with ace-jack. But that's a tough call, $1,000 there. It'd be tough to put a guy on 10-jack, though, to be honest with you, wouldn't it? The way he played it.
Yeah, but what can you beat here?
No, obviously, it's an easy fold. But I'm saying if, let's say, Ed had ace-king or something like that, or king-queen, it'd be really difficult to put somebody on jack 10. You look at that board and you go,
Look at this.
To
He's
me-
counting on his white.
well, to me, it kind of almost looks like I'd be going, wait a second, does this guy have a spade draw?
And
you know,
then
he missed? Because you're going, jack 10 makes no sense. Unless it was jack 10 of spades.
I was busy.
That's kind of a hand you might think of.
Losing all my money here last night.
And he lives
And he's going to lay it down there.
You know, and when obviously when you've got to make a difficult call, and obviously that was a pretty easy lay down in the river, but when you've got to make a difficult call, you got to try to like retrace the whole hand in your head and think of what does my opponent have.
Yeah, well, you got a flush draw and a straight draw.
No, that would be
Maybe a 10
open-ended.
jack of spades.
Jack 10 would be open-ended.
Maybe a 10 jack of spades. I mean,
That's
it,
kinda saying maybe he
that's
had
just
10
a
jack of
ballpark
spades.
guess. But he could have had like 4 or 5
Blinds,
off
please.
suit too. We never know.
Just for the bottle of wine.
But again, we haven't really seen any bluffs, Dave.
No, not really.
I mean, if he had bluffed on a busted spade draw there, that would be a bluff.
Oh, without a doubt.
Of course, they didn't know that Mike couldn't call. Or, excuse me, Ed couldn't call because he didn't have anything. But
No, that would have been a great bluff. Obviously, he didn't bluff. He just check call, check call.
He
Okay,
told
I'll
me
raise when I get
I
there.
was going to the bathroom. He said, "Watch me. I'm going to pound on the 9." He said,
100. 100.
Jesus is going to raise here.
"You heard it right."
Wait, seat 4, Ramsey. He's taking his sweet time. You better start playing here, Dave. We're going to boot him off the table.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's
I-
just taking advantage of the free food.
Come on, buddy. Let's get him back in the game, Donna.
Give me action.
Yeah.
Give you action. All right, you got it. You asked for it. You got it. Toyota.
Here we go. He's going to get a couple of calls.
Yeah, Ed raised there with ace-jack, huh?
Give him action. He begged.
$500 pot, huh?
Yep. 3 aces.
Well, that finally,
Jack 9-3.
Ed hits a flop.
And Jesus has the nut flush
This
draw.
is making me
Nice
ill.
jump hop.
Ed's
Yeah.
got top pair, and he's going to
can-
bet
There
it.
goes the
I can
$95
smell fireworks.
$200, it looks like.
270.
270.
It's his magic number.
Mike folds the ace deuce.
Whoa.
All in.
And Jesus pushes all in.
9.
900 more here, Dave. Or 900 total. And I don't think Ed's going anywhere.
No.
And he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, Jesus might be thinking maybe a spades or an ace are good, and obviously an ace is good.
Oh, there's the spade on the turn.
Oh,
Jesus is going to take it
Nice hand.
with the nut flush.
One hand at a
Ace
time.
high flush.
Very nice.
and I think we're all rooting for Jesus to go on a little run, aren't we?
He
Absolutely.
put it in like he knew it was coming too. You got an extra 100 from me.
And that was about a $2,300 pot there.
Yeah. The last time he would have won with ace jack. This time he loses
Take it
with
down.
ace jack.
Jesus.
Timing with ace jack. Yeah, but I mean you had ace jack when you would
Now, of course, this is a unrestricted buy-in no-limit game. It's more traditional, or
Yeah.
kind of what people call the real no-limit game.
Right.
But I've tended to harp on Wednesday night's game as kind of an incredible game because it's the biggest restricted buy-in no-limit game that I've ever seen.
Oh, probably in the world. It's
Yeah.
a huge game. I was actually talking to Yosh Nakano beforehand,
Yeah.
and he had mentioned that a lot of big-time players were hoping to play in it, had heard about it, and had
Yeah.
wanted to play in it.
5 players.
5-way action here, limped around. 10, 5, 6 here on the flop. Jesus has another flush draw. And Dave, he's got an open-ended flush straight draw as well.
Oh, that's a big, big hand.
And he's going to bet 200, it looks like. I don't know if anyone's going to call here, though.
That's a nice bet, though. Bet your draw. When you have a super draw like that, bet it. You might just take the pot. That's a big hand.
Or, you know, from up front, sometimes I like to check raise, really push there.
Right.
With a hand like
Oh, he
that.
made
Now, the problem with that one is it was a limped around, so there's
Yeah.
no insurance that anybody's going to bet it.
Right.
But suppose that I guess they heard about, like, you know, players like 2 and other players like that were that were getting a little stuck in the game
Yeah.
and figured that the action was pretty juicy, and they want to come down to the bike,
Get over it.
try their luck in the game. And you can catch that game every Wednesday. We have our whale game.
And again, I wonder. I mean, none of those guys have real experience in restricted buy and no limit games because those games are always spread at the $200 level.
Right.
If you take a solid guy from that game, could they beat the big game?
Yeah, you know,
You know?
Well, the only thing I'm going to say is this: you're not. They're talking about getting players like Billy Duarte, and some top-notch players. And these guys aren't hold'em players or stud players. They're poker players.
Right.
There's one spade there.
10-4 deuce here. Got limped around. Rainbow flop.
Lethal.
80.
And he's got a wheel draw.
Mike bets $80 there with ace-3.
He's actually got the best hand.
I got the flush draw, okay?
Well, Jesus mucked a deuce.
Did he?
You
Okay.
figure out which one.
And Kenna has called here with Jack-5 of hearts. Oh, and he spikes a jack on the turn.
How does he
Wow.
do that?
Well,
Like he knew
that's-
it was coming.
That is a flush
Amazing.
draw now. I'm going to bet $250.
And he bets $250
Oh,
on
he
the
went
run.
ghetto on us there, huh? 250.
No, come on.
And Mike, he continues to call.
Did I not bet enough or what?
He's going to need to spike. He can hit an ace here, Dave, or he could hit a two.
Yeah, let's see if Mike bets the river.
A
Bluffs
5.
the river if he misses.
And if it's a 5, it will give Kenna jacks up. Oh, it's a 6.
Again, you check.
Someone make flush.
That could have been a huge hand there at the end,
Yeah.
Dave.
250.
Kenna's going to bet 250 here again.
I have to put it in.
I
I have to. I hate to
think
put
Kenny
it
was
in
kind of
because
just hoping he'd
I'm
just say
thinking
it.
about up again. Oh, you don't have nothing. You said
But we
you had a
see
flush
Mike's
draw.
play here. He's pretty much checking and calling,
I'll tell you what
hoping
you
to hit
have.
his
You
card.
have
If he doesn't hit his card, he
4
checks and folds, I guess.
4, 5, and
If you
Diamonds.
get it right, I put the money in.
Which is probably the best hand.
I don't know what he's thinking about here, Dave.
Well, I mean, it's clearly a raise or fold spot. I can't imagine you calling with ace high.
Like 270, like number 9 over there.
Because you got to look at that flop. 10-4
Thank you,
deuce.
thank you.
What kind of draws out there? Even if Ken had 3-5, he got there with the 6.
What's that purple chip Kenna has? Can we zoom in on Kenna's chip stack? right
Anybody
there?
else needs?
Look at a purple chip there. I don't think that's a $5,000 bike chip.
No, Coors Light. 'cause
Okay,
I'm
it's a
winning.
different
When I'm
chip
losing,
there,
it's
Oh.
hard liquor.
It's an evil
And
chip
when I'm winning, it's just a beer.
from that evil casino.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
More pain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody had a good quote.
Nobody likes the
pain,
C word.
No pain.
No pain.
Yeah, no pain.
I want action, guys, okay?
Oh, here we go. Jesus is in there. He's got ace queen offsuit. Pretty legitimate hand, Dave.
Action, Jackson.
And he bets he brings it in for 100. He likes to bring, these pots in for about $100. Pretty standard.
2 players.
And he's heads up with Ed, who's got ace 9 offsuit. Uh-oh. Ace 9 jack on the flop. Oh, boy. And Jesus checked it from up front, so I think
this
he's
is-
going to check raise.
Well, this is head.
670.
And Jesus check raises to 700. Ed bet 250. Jesus made it
Uh-oh.
700 to go.
Jesus needs running diamonds or queen.
And Ed moves all in here.
my
Wow,
goodness.
looks like it's
Look at
almost
this. We got action.
2,000. This is a
Oh, yeah.
huge pot.
Enormous.
It's going to be a $4,000 pot here. The turn is a 10. Gives
King?
Jesus some more outs.
No.
Oh, and the river's a 7.
Oh my god.
Wow.
What do you have?
He's got ace. He's got aces.
Yeah, you win. That's what I'm
Wow.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh man, you've been having some
Oh.
bad luck tonight.
There's no way Jesus was going to get away from that hand.
playing, right? Yeah, right. 7.
Well,
And we're talking about a-
a
Wow, we're talking like about a $4,600 pot.
Right there. Man.
Well, Jesus just took a bite out of Ed, and Ed just took a bite back, huh?
What are you, McGruff tonight?
2,000. Cover.
2240.
2240.
That's sick. That is sick.
And just like that, Jesus loses another buy-in.
Oh, there's a mariachi band.
Yeah, what is it, May 5th? What day is today?
Oh, it's Mexican Independence Day today, Dave.
Wow, there you go.
Like he's
Jesus is
going
coming
away
back.
now.
He's
How did you know
On
that?
hand,
I'm
for
just, I'm
counseling.
in,
We do have a
got a good
counseling
relationship with our country south of the border.
That's
thing over
great.
the
Wow.
corner.
Every day,
So
you
that-
surprise me.
If that happens to you, there's a
Your big
punching
lights.
bag over there. You just
Of course, we have a gigantic Mexican poker section here, Dave.
Yeah, we
Some of
usually
the-
lose Jesus to that game.
Yeah, and Diablo.
Somewhere right around
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Wow, we're giving away a truck at midnight to our Mexican poker players.
I like it, that man.
we get the mariachi band in.
Oh, you can hear that music in the background there, Dave.
Yeah.
What is there?
Cinco de Mayo?
Of course, there's a mariachi club right across the street here from the bike.
Independence.
Yeah, I go all the time.
Raised to 60.
After work sometimes I go over there.
Hispanic. Mexican Independence Day.
The Hispanics.
Mexican.
Mike has raised here with due 7 of clubs, $60.
Hispanics. Independence
Barry
Row.
Woods is called 5-7.
See, a lot of players are trying to bluff pretty flop,
Yeah.
and I'm really hoping for somebody bluffing it on the flop or on the river.
Yeah.
On the turn.
We took the California
Ace 10
away.
bucks. He had the best hand over there in C8.
To me, it's really easy to bluff pre-flop. Anybody can do that. It's when you miss your spade draw, you miss your straight draw, and you fire out big at the river. That's when it's tough.
Ed is called.
And we'll get word on Jesus whether he's going to stay in the game and buy in again.
Mike calls.
Doesn't look good though.
This is the call right here.
Well, he's still there.
Is he
Go
okay?
get money.
60.
Down about 6,000 tonight so far.
Here we go to the
It's
flop.
always a good sign when you
Not
got
really
players
great
in the game
hands.
that don't know how to count.
8-9-4 here.
Make me excited.
Barry's got a
He's got a gut shot.
shot.
370.
Ed's still in the lead with king high.
He bets 370.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why you wish you were like me.
And Mike's gonna muck it.
Goodness.
Barry takes it down.
Nice bet by Barry there.
That's gonna
And he
be
shows the
strange
bluff.
later, I believe.
Shows a semi-bluff, I guess.
Thank you.
Well, that's not quite the biggest bluff yet, Barry.
No,
Sorry.
not quite.
The flop was said 10 and an 8.
And to all those
10
people
and an
watching
8,
on 2+2, I hear that Jive Dadson is actually going to be away for 2 weeks, and Russ McGinley is going to be taking over as the nag. Do appreciate that, Russ. Thank you very much.
Live straddle here by Ed, so it's $40 to call. Of course, a live straddle is a second big blind, Dave. He has the option when it comes back around to him.
And it's actually double the bet of the
Right.
big blind.
130.
And Loy has made it 130 to go with ace-queen offsuit. Mike Wynn, he's got a lot of chips over there now. He's got pocket fours. I bet you he can make this call against Loy, who has a lot of chips.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
One card, you get callers. One card, you get callers.
If I show, I have to muck it.
No, you don't. It's a different thing.
A lot of chips on the table now.
Yeah, we play as we go here.
Ken has got well over $5,000.
And Loy is going to Mike Wynn is going to make the call with pocket
That's
fours.
150. No, you got too much again.
Oh, too much again?
Yeah, give me those.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, I take this. I keep thinking
140.
No,
No, he
that's-
was right. He was right.
Sounds like kindergarten classes going on. What's going on over
Holy
there?
cow, there's some problems over here.
He really can't count.
You gotta take the football out.
So the action's over to Ed in the blind
Got it.
position,
He's shaking
or
off
in the
that.
straddle position, and he's going to make the call with 10
And this is what I'm talking about.
Yes,
Ed
sir.
raises big with ace-queen of hearts, right?
Right.
Okay, it should be 130.
But then he calls with 10-7. I would rather be raising with 10-7 and calling with, you know what I mean? I want to mix up my
All right,
play a little
players.
bit.
Three-way action here to the flop. Ace 9-9.
Yeah, Loy's got him.
And Loy's going to bet
250.
You bet 250.
250.
And take it down, Loy.
take it down.
Thank you.
Yeah, the last plug would be nice.
Got the Key West shirt on.
We should bring a player if he's not coming back.
Have you been there before, Dave?
Key West.
Live
Yeah, I think I have.
Think you have?
I believe so. I think I was there as a kid when I was young. I haven't gone. I haven't gone since I've been legal. Oh, now we just starts getting some action here. Live straddled. It's a $40 bet, so there's already $70 in blind money out there.
Kenna has straddled it, and I believe that Loy has raised here.
Wow.
Queen Jack offsuit, and Barry Woods has got Ace King. Loy made it 120 to go. Barry's got Ace King on the button. Let's see if he re-raises or he just smooth calls. He's got a smooth call.
Well, that's playing the player. I mean, Loy is a pretty tight player, and for him to raise it 120 in the small under the gun, that represents some strength.
Now Daniel in seat 8, he's played tight all night. He mucks King Queen like it was nothing, and we're heads up.
Yeah. And I don't mind Barry's call there at all.
Oh, and he gets out flopped. Loy's got top pair. It's about a $300 pot right now.
Ace King pre-flop is just a drawing hand. So.
And Loy bets 250.
As good as Ed is, I'd like him to sit down.
What is Barry thinking here?
Well, he's got Ace King. I mean, you got to think Loy. If Loy bet with Ace King, raised with Ace King or Ace Queen, he's going to continuation bet anyway.
So maybe raising here might get him out the hand?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, but it's one of those things when you do smooth call pre-flop with Ace King, you put yourself in a position where...
Well, he just calls, Dave. He calls.
And Loy can't like his hand now.
Got an $800 pot now. Turns to 7.
Wow. There's no slowdown in Loy here.
And
300. 320.
320?
He's got him at 320 into an $800 pot now, Dave.
320?
Yep, 320. So it's about $1,100.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a scared bet. When you get called, when you have Queen Jack, you have a pair of jacks with a Queen kicker. You can't beat King Jack. You can't beat Ace Jack.
Look at Barry. He's counting out the whites. He might make a raise here. Or he might fold. I don't know. I guess there is 3 options. Maybe he still thinks that Ace King is the best hand.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's not a clear cut. It's not like Ace 5.
Right, right.
You know, if you're Loy, would you be betting Ace Queen? You might be.
What happened?
Especially Ace Queen of Hearts.
Boy, wouldn't this be a great hand to have 7 deuce?
I mean, look at that. There's a picture of Loy there. It looks pretty relaxed. I mean, you got to think of what kind of hand this kid might have. He raised under the gun. I mean, would you put him on Queen Jack?
And Barry gets rid of it.
Yeah. I mean, you almost got to put the kid on queens or something, right? But he didn't bet that much. He almost bet like almost a scared amount.
Thank you, players.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you very much.
Good. Let's give this plant some beer. We need to...
Hey, can you check to see if those Mexicans are legal?
And CW Siggy on 2+2 wants to know about Mexican poker. And
actually, too, somebody at the table just asked, can you check to see if those Mexicans are legal?
Oh.
In the background. And then C3 gave him a dirty look.
2 years.
But why would C3 give him a dirty look? Because it's Mike Wynn in C3. But anyways.
I'm a big blind. I'll take it.
You're big, but you're not blind.
I don't know.
That's what all the girls say.
I have no idea.
Kidding.
So getting back to Mexican poker.
Mexican poker, it's actually very similar to a 5-card stud game. It's played with a joker. I want to say the 9s, 7, 8s, and 9s are taken out of the game.
Good.
And you get to choose one card to show up, but it's a 5-card stud game with a joker.
Hey, how long is this seat going to
And it's played generally no limit. It's a very big action game.
Will it be back?
Jesus loves that game. After this webcast is over, oftentimes we'll see him playing in that game.
Time? It's...
Now, is there a strategy to that game? Is there a right way to play
there's
this?
a lot of strategy. Yeah. It's like 5-card stud with a joker. But there's a lot of strategy in the sense of what card you're showing.
Well, in that hand against
Because you can show one card and not show another one.
10, 6, 9 here, a couple of hearts.
That's true. No,
Ramsey's open-ended
you're right.
here.
It happened after the flop.
And Loy is still in the lead here.
Bet 150.
Mike's going to bet bottom pair, though.
Ramsey makes the call.
Another point where you can raise your draw instead of just calling your draw.
I I did not realize that. Just right now.
Loy Mux.
Loy Mux the best hand, actually.
Well, it's pretty tough to a bet and,
Oh,
and a call.
easy.
Turns a queen.
Let's see if Ramsey uses the heart.
Well, Ramsey, he makes the straight.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Yep.
He doesn't need to use that.
And he's going to bet it. He's going to push all in here.
Yeah. Pretty easy for Mike to get away from the hand here.
Well, heads up, yeah, I've got a straight. But again, to chase that flop multi-way with Jack 8 and then have the Queen of Hearts come on the turn, you still don't know where you're at.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
he moved all in, so there was no, he couldn't get outplayed, obviously. But if he was real deep in chips and he bets 600 and Mike comes over the top for 2,600, well, then what do you do?
Do you know how to massage strong? Not break bones.
Mexican Independence Day. That's pretty exciting. How many years has Mexico been independent?
I think it's been since the late 1800s.
That's fun.
Because remember, the U.S. had a war with Mexico in 1890, right?
Were you there?
1890s. Yeah, in a reincarnated life. In a previous life.
Wow.
I was there.
Did you sting
need
him?
to
Did
teach
you
him a
sting him
lesson.
in the hand earlier? Because that's two barbs he thrown at
Yeah,
you.
it is. It is.
It is two
It's
barbs.
vulgar.
You-
It's
you-
very
you-
vulgar.
you stung
Button
him.
here is in seat 9.
I think you should do something about that. Sorry. Watch what's this?
We already have a couple of limpers. Barry's going to raise it up here.
Raise up. He's got ace-9 offsuit.
Ace 10 to his left is going to call. And here we go. Ed with the 9-6 of diamonds makes a call on the button.
$70.
Ken has got King Jack.
He's in a small blind, right?
He makes the call. And Loy's got King Queen. And everybody's in there almost.
Okay.
Six-way
Put
action.
twos and threes out there. See what he does.
$420 pot approximately. Here we go to the
No
flop.
worries, mate.
King 7-8. Oh, is Kenny going to be able to get away from it?
Now, Ed's flopped a open-ended straight draw.
He has. In position on the button.
What happened?
Ken has checked. Loy has also checked, it
I
looks
got
like.
7-8. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to be
Oh,
fair
no, he
and
hasn't.
tell you.
And Mike, yes, he has. And Mike has checked. And Barry Woods, who was the original raiser, makes a continuation bet there.
Yeah, now with that many callers, he's going to take one shot at it, but I can't imagine much more.
He bets $150. And Ed's going to call. Now, let's see if Kenny gets tricky. No, he's just going to smooth call. Now, what do you do now if you're Loy?
Oh. To me, it's a tough spot. I mean, you're a lot of draws out there. I mean, you got the 7-8, so make it up 9-10.
Anybody call?
You might want to see the turn and see what happens.
He calls.
I guess my raisers have no respect in depth.
And I imagine Mike's got a gut shot, but it's the lower end of the gut shot.
So we've got a $900 pot now. And now
And Mike calls.
When Mike calls, it's now over $1,000 pot.
What, Mike's-
$1,050.
Mike's calling for the 6?
Wow.
What if somebody has 9-10?
Here we go to the turn. The turn's a 6!
I can't believe it.
Oh!
And now Barry's open-ended also. Barry's got the 9.
Oh, this is incredible stuff. $1,000 in the pot, about $10.50. And Barry looks like he's going to bet.
Well, he's open-ended. He figured if anybody had a king, maybe they'd raise him.
He's going to bet $360 here now, Dave. Now, Ed's open-ended with the pair, so it's a small bet. Ed calls. Now, if you're Kenna, what do you do?
I'd mock if I'm
The
Kenna.
pot is now $1,800.
I mean, obviously I know it, but King Jack is just such an easily beaten hand.
Yeah.
King Queen's a little bit better, and maybe you raise if you have King Queen to see where you're at. But when you chose not to raise in the flop, which I don't mind,
Yep.
and you have that much action,
Now, remember, Mike is going to check raise here, obviously, too, Dave. Mike checked it from up front. He's last to act because Barry has bet now.
I'd imagine he's going to
Yeah.
check raise. I just don't understand drawing to that kind
Yeah,
of straight
this is
there.
a real tough spot for Kenna. There's still 5 other people in the hand.
Yeah,
He makes a
you
good
just got to
laydown.
pick your spots, and you're going, all I have is top pair.
And what about Loy now, too?
I mean, it's just real easy for somebody to have 2 pair.
Yeah. He makes the call.
And if you're Mike, what do? You go all in here or
Well,
what?
it's over $2,000 in the pot now. And he does. He moves all in, Dave.
Now, he's got to put some chips in there, though.
He's moved all in.
This verbal all in, I don't like it. Doesn't work for the webcast.
He's got about 2,300 here, Dave. So now the pot is about... He's actually got about 3,300. So now the pot is about $5,000, or a little over $5,000. Well, he's moved all in for another $3,000. And the pot was 2,300. So it's
Oh, another
Yeah.
almost like a 30, almost a $5,800 pot now,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
It's about 3,000 for Barry to go.
Wow.
You don't call, he doesn't call, man.
Well, Mike's only gonna. I doubt he'll get called by the
Like,
nines.
this is a strange set of circumstances you got.
And obviously he'll find out real quick that nobody has 9-10.
Okay, I'll show you one card. I'll let you take half your bet back.
Too late now.
This would be a great bluff if it was a bluff.
Yeah. If it was a bluff.
I'd go out there and personally open the bottle of wine for him right now, but obviously not a bluff.
Well, Barry has really bet this hand like he did bet kind of weak on the turn, and he's going to muck. Now, Ed, he's open-ended with a pair, but obviously someone could easily have a 9-10 right now, Dave.
Easily, or even two pair. I mean,
Yeah.
with one card to go, it's just...
He'd have to commit almost all of his chips. Again, it's about 5,800 in the pot.
Yeah, it's 3,300 to win 5,800. That's
Yeah.
just not.
Yeah.
With one card to go,
If he does make the call, we'll have the biggest pot of the night, over $9,000.
oh, definitely.
Well, about 3,200.
I want to call. I want to see how much it is before I call.
3,280.
Wait, Ed, we could call him Hollywood Ed now, too,
Well,
Dave. I
not
mean, he
30,
takes a long
3280
time
total.
with these decisions.
Yeah, but he's really
So
thinking
it's,
about it.
You think so?
Yes, I do. It pains him to
pair
throw a
of
hand
sixes
away
with
where he
an
has a
open-ended
draw.
straight draw?
I know it's an easy muck for you and me, but it pains him to throw this hand away.
Well, he's drawing live. If he caught a 5 or a 10, he would win.
Yes. Yes, he would. And I think we should institute that rule from now on. When players move all in, they've actually got to move their chips in.
Well, he has moved some chips.
Yeah, no, now he has.
Wait. You got people in the hand here.
No, I haven't called yet. Another guy.
Mike actually just accidentally flipped over one of his cards, Dave. That's what
Well,
I heard.
if Loy saw that, actually, it doesn't make a difference if Loy's only got a top pair here. There's no way he's going to call.
Well, it is only you and him, but technically,
Ed is going to muck, and I'm sure
Yeah.
Loy is out. Yep.
5.
And he shows 4-5.
God, wouldn't that have been great then?
And to me, I mean, Mike makes another bad play, but he's rewarded by it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the poker guards are just constantly rewarding, to me, some really questionable play. Closer to our $10 chips there.
Can we fill the seat just until he comes back?
I gotta go
Down
smoke a cigarette.
You take a big
A
bite.
close-up
we
of
fill the
Kenna
seat? Where's
from
Mo?
underneath.
You bring back for Diablo. Let the Diablo play.
Can Diablo play over until he comes back since he's been gone so long? All right, just ask him if he wants to play over.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can never fucking mug my hand.
Six, save a lot of money.
The button is in seat 1, actually. That little white disc in front of Kenna. He is the button. And small blind is $10. Big blind is $20.
Barry has called. And Ken is going to raise.
110.
Raise. I get 110.
He's got deuce 8 of clubs, and he makes it 110 to go.
110. You know why? Because
And,
we're in honor of the
I
110.
think he's going to get called here by Barry here, Jack 9. Well, let's see if this bluff continues here.
No, Barry's out of position.
17.
Yeah.
That would have been way out of line.
Queen 8-6, all spades.
Yeah, Barry's in real good control here. He's got Jack High is the best hand. Actually, I'm sorry. Pair of 8s.
Well, Ken
What
is
am I
flop-
looking at?
You do?
Ken has flopped second pair, and it goes check here. The turn is a 7, and now Barry's open-ended.
With a spade draw also.
Right, but Kenna has the best hand, though.
Hard for Barry or Kenna to know what the best hand is here.
And Barry's bet. And Kenna calls. Looks like a $110 bet there on the turn. And the river is a jack, and Barry backs into the best hand here.
Yeah. Problem with 8 deuce. It's pretty vulnerable, huh?
Check. And now Kenna might think that he needs to bet here to win. Again, this is one of these situations where Barry was on a draw, but he picked up a pair
Right.
at the end.
Let's see if
He accidentally
the
got
wheel's
there.
turning in Kenna's head. thinking, can I steal this one away?
It's about a $400 pot, or about $450. See how much he looks? He's reaching for chips here,
9-10.
and he's gonna bet 900, Dave, over the size of the pot.
Well, this is the biggest bluff of the night.
Yeah, $910 pot here.
We got our bluff meter up.
Now remember, Kenneth checked the flop, called the turn.
Takes it
And look at
down.
that. Barry's going to muck it, and that is the biggest bluff of the night there.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
That's got to be it right there. That's the
That might be. I don't know. I don't know what he had.
Sir, you take small blind?
And that is the biggest bluff of the night so far.
pretty sure, yeah. That was a good bluff. The best hand, but it wasn't worth my
Well, let's do an updated poll here.
We'll
Looks
get that
like-
information to you shortly.
Yeah, it looks like oddly we've got 3 votes for Jesus already.
Wow.
Wow, I guess Jesus the pre-flop raising. People wanted to get the Coronas, you know.
I think that we need to kind of do this towards the end of the show, though, Dave. For
Of
to make
course,
the
of
most
course.
sense.
I'm just looking to see what we have the votes on so far.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna raise this pot.
Kenna's
see
going
the
to raise
votes
here.
start flooding in for Kenna here.
I think we're probably going to nominate a couple of the hands, Dave, and then have people vote towards the end of the show. Kenna has raised here with ace-10 of hearts.
I can't stay here.
That's not your sit. You're playing over.
Well, how long can you play over for?
71.
Okay.
90 altogether.
Yes, 90 altogether.
I mean, it's
70 more.
And a couple of callers. Here we go with the flop. Nice flop for Kenna. 8-3-4, couple of hearts.
Yeah, Barry's outflopped him though. He's got a pair of 4s.
And Barry likes to fire here when he has a pair to see where people are at. That's his style, Dave.
Well, especially with an 8-high board, he figures he probably missed everybody.
He bets a 150. Let's see what Kenna does here.
It's a little rematch between Kenna and Barry.
Makes it 300, Dave.
Is it good?
And Barry calls.
It's kind of a little semi-bluff. See if maybe he can.
Got about a $1,000 pot here. Oh, the turn is an 8.
This might be a bluffing situation. Let's see what happens here.
Look at Barry. He looks like he's going to bet here again.
Bet 1,000.
He bets 1,000, Dave.
$1,000. Wow.
1,000.
He represents an 8 here. He doesn't want to give a free. Hey, you know what? Kenna made the play. Kenna raised to see maybe if he can get a free card, right?
Yeah. That's
And
$1,000.
Barry thinks he has the best hand and doesn't want to give him the free card. Nice play by Barry.
There you go. There's another nomination.
Well, it's actually not a bluff. He's got the best hand.
Well, but he did represent the 8, though.
Got to be honest. I have problems giving that as a bluff. I think it's just a well played hand. I think he figured Kenna had hearts. I think he put Kenna on hearts and not an 8. And when an 8 falls, he definitely didn't put Kenna on hearts.
Okay.
On a 8. I think it's just a well played hand.
Well, that's definitely a scary card, even if Kenna had an overpair.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's a good bet.
Good bluff card, right?
Without a doubt, definitely. Just turned out in that case he happened to have the best hand.
What did you order? That fish?
Fish. Get a shot of this. Now this is how you eat. Let me move this over here. Okay.
Oh, there's Kenna's food.
They had
Sea bass.
potato crusted sea bass.
Wow. Oh, we got to get some of that stuff back here, dude.
I know. There we go.
You get the sea bass,
Kenna helping us out there.
potato crusted sea bass with asparagus. I mean, the free food is great. I appreciate it. Very nice.
Kenna's having a good time as always.
Bad for the arteries.
It's on you, sir.
Let's make it 90.
Kenna's having fun. We're having fun.
90.
And Kenna's going to raise here to 90. We don't know what he has.
Ace 10 offsuit.
I put for you.
Okay.
That's 90.
$90.
Did you look at your cards?
No, that neat work.
No, that sort of ruins the betting pattern.
And in defense of you, look at that. We've got 2 votes now for Barry.
Very
Oh,
fair.
okay. Did you turn them over right now?
Show them in the window. Sorry.
And here we go with the flop.
You know me, because
King,
I'm an exhibition.
Queen, 8.
That's a big flop for
ever
Barry
ask
there.
me
He's
an
got top
exhibition
pair with a
to show
jack
it,
of clubs,
okay?
but Ken has got the ace of clubs.
Yep,
I'm
3
just
flush.
standing up and whipping on out.
Okay, save us that privilege, will you?
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Yeah, supposedly Ken is going to whip something out. I'm not sure what.
I was talking about my bankroll.
Oh, I hope not. This is a family show. Ken, please don't.
That's 600.
It's a $600 bet there by Barry. He's overbetting the pot.
600.
And Ken has got that gut shot to go along with it. If a jack comes on the turn, we could see
Yeah.
fireworks.
Well, to me.
Oh, look at this. Ken has moved all in, and they've got a lot of money, Dave.
Wow.
A lot of money.
Well, that's a tournament play there.
Barry looks like he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got about 2,500 plus a green.
Oh, they've got-
3,500.
It's probably, we're talking about a $10,000 pot if he calls.
Yeah. And this, again, really isn't necessarily a bluff, I don't think. I mean, it's a semi-bluff.
Oh, this is definitely a semi-bluff. He's behind in the hand. He needs to catch a card. He's definitely hoping Barry doesn't call.
What do you think
Definition
the-
of a bluff.
What do you think the odds are in this hand right now?
Well, let's see. Ken has got 3 outs on his ace. He's also got 2 more outs on a jack. I'm sorry, 3 outs on a jack. So that's 6 outs, and he needs any club.
And there's 8 of them left.
There's 8 left.
14 outs, so he's almost like a slight favorite here.
14 outs, but Barry's got redraw possibilities also. No, I think he's a slight underdog.
Slight
I would
underdog?
say Barry's probably like 54-46. If I have to do off the top of my head.
Well, it's the power of the semi-bluff.
Exactly. But this is the actual definition of a semi-bluff. You're bluffing with a hand. If you get called, you still might get there.
Well, now, what do you think? I mean, I guess Barry might think that Ken could have an aces with the ace of clubs. Or
yeah.
I guess he could have ace 10 with the ace of clubs, or it already
Ace
flopped
jack.
a flush. And
He
he's gonna
calls!
call! He calls! Oh, boy! He makes the
wow.
call. Are they going to do a deal?
Can't run it like twice.
This is going to be like a $7,000 pot.
10,000.
I'll run it twice. Wanna run it
And let's
twice?
see if they're.
Run it twice.
Are
Go
they
ahead.
gonna? How many times are they gonna run it? They're
Twice.
gonna run it twice. The turn is a 5,
I lose that one.
and the river's a queen. Kenna loses that one. The river is a king.
No.
The turn's a king here,
I lose them both.
and the river's a
He
10,
loses them both.
and he loses them both.
And Barry, wow, takes it
wow.
down. Well, for the mere price of $7,000, Ken, I think, has just won himself a bottle of Camus.
Yeah, that's a
Cabernet.
big bluff right there.
Guys,
Ace
I've
10.
run this like 10 times. Holy cow. There it is. I mean, how many clubs are in this deck? Holy cow.
Oh, wow.
What a hand! They ran it twice.
I mean,
And
Look at
like
this,
you
there's
said,
no
Kenna
clubs in the
only
deck.
needed an ace,
I wanna
a
count.
jack, or a club would have given him the win.
So Barry had about
All right, what's his
3,200 in
hand?
front of
What
him.
does
So
he
I'm
have?
saying the pot was about 7,000.
Where?
Well, he actually
I don't
already
see-
bet
I don't see
600
a
in the
king.
pot.
Okay.
So he had, and before the pot, so the
But
pot was
$8,000
All right, how
pot.
much?
yeah, probably 8 or 8,500, somewhere in that range.
You call me with king jack? Are you serious? You call me with king jack, no club?
He had king jack of the clubs.
And you know what? When Ron Rose explained how he called Dr. Beebe, he said it screamed like the guy had a big club draw.
Yep.
Nice hand.
And I think that's obviously what Barry put him on. And wow, that is a huge, huge semi-bluff that just did not work out.
That's a big one.
And look at that, just like that, we're getting votes flooding in for Kenna.
Wait, what was
Kenna is now leading it. He has 6 votes now and counting, so let's see
the board?
what happens.
And
He don't want to put all the cards together, and he said he wins.
I understand he's got a dead hand, but you have to take his hand.
Did I have? Was there a jack out there? I
No,
didn't see. Did I?
no.
Rick Gabiolo told me that the Mexican-American War
Really
took
bad
place
break,
in
right?
between 1868 and 1848. I might have been thinking of the Spanish-American War in the 1890s. So
Yeah, you probably
excuse me,
were.
Rick.
You probably
Sorry.
were thinking of that.
This is great. I just got my
No, thank you.
dinner. Now
I'm
you
just
think I
kidding.
can-
Thank you, Rick, for that information.
I mean, you think
So
I
wow,
can-
Wow.
so Mexico's actually been independent since 1848.
Oh,
I'm not going to try to even guess.
Well, I'd assume in the Mexican-American War. Well, who knows? Hopefully somebody can let us know.
But in the Spanish-American War, didn't they fight against the Mexicans, though? In the late 1890s? Wasn't Texas a part of Mexico then? I don't know.
I wasn't very good at social studies and history.
I was, and that's why it's
Yeah, I know some things, but I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you.
I changed. I can.
Lloyd there raised
Now,
two
World
sevens
War
too.
II stuff, Civil War, I know more of that.
No matter what.
King 6-4 here, a couple of hearts.
Well, if it was a better player. than
Boy
I,
raised there again with deuce 7, and he bets. Now Amir doesn't have anything.
Kenna has rebought in for another
Oh,
$5,000.
there we go. We're gonna see some fireworks. $8,000 pot, folks.
What a call by Barry, huh?
Well,
Wow.
You know, again, it came that discussion with Ron Rose. Is it the right call to make? I guess if you think you have the best hand, that to me might have been a little bit more clear cut, where Kenna was just doing that with the ace of clubs. But it's a tough board. You got king, queen. What was the other card that was the club out there?
King, queen, nothing. Blank,
So-
5, something like that, 7.
So if you think he's got the ace of clubs, what's his other card that he
That's
has?
exactly, that's the
the
scary
thing.
thing.
It's like he could have 2 aces.
Well,
in
he
which
could
case
also
you're way behind.
he could also have ace queen
That's right. He
with
could
the
have
ace of clubs.
Yeah.
Which means any queen comes
Right.
you lose, any ace comes you lose,
Right.
or ace 10 or ace jack. There are a whole
Right.
bunch of cards there.
Yeah.
But you figure he might have a gut shot, straight draw, and a club draw.
Raise, make it 100.
Ace Jack is going to raise here to 100. Seat 4.
They run it twice, and Kenneth still loses them both.
For Ace Jack against Ace Queen, Amir called. King, King, Deuce.
Let's see who takes control of this pot.
Ramsey bets in position. Wow, and Amir's going to check call here.
Check call there. Okay.
Next hand. Oh, no.
Oh, the turn's an ace. Both players hit top pair.
Yeah, but Amir's queen is going to play.
And it goes check, check, and the river's a 9. And Amir bets 300.
Nice value bet here.
And Ramsey's going to call, it looks like.
We're just not going to get that seat filled, huh? Just not going to get that seat filled.
And he is just calling.
300.
Nice value bet there.
Not going to happen.
And the queen plays. It is your best 5-card hand, so they both have pocket 8. They both have aces and queen and king. Sorry. And obviously Amir has a queen kicker. Ramsey had a jack kicker. The 9 and the deuce obviously do not play.
Yeah, we still have had seat 5 pretty vacant, Dave, for like a long time.
C5, yeah, we're hoping
Yeah.
for Jesus to come back, but obviously we're going to give him the player to play over him.
Oh, so Kenna is going to move to seat 5, and Mo is going to come back into the game.
Yeah, I don't like this either.
Light shadow? Oh, you can shadow. Okay, light shadow.
And it's amazing the wealth of knowledge that we get, wealth of information that we get thrown into our ears from our lovely assistant Donna out there.
He buys the button, I straddle you. As usual, are out of the game until you got a big pocket there.
The button is in seat 7. That's that little white diskette there. Blinds are 10 and 20.
Know that. Live with that thought.
What? Do you know him on
Kenna raised it up to 150. Looks like he's got ace 7 of clubs. Big Blind's got king 3 spades. Action's over to him.
No good spot.
Make it 150.
Who made it more? Did he ask my permission?
It looks like Ed's going to make the call here, Dave. Wow.
So heads up.
7.5 times the big blind, the raise. And here we go to the flop.
Hi. Hi. Give me 1 second. Let me
And
8-7-5 here, rainbow. Kenna's
Kenna
got
gets a
pair.
piece.
I check,
Check.
but you bet.
Now back to that play by Kenna. I actually do not mind the play. I actually like it. Raising with that. It's much better than just check calling, right? Just didn't work out for him that time.
Well, he raised in position there, I believe.
But no, I wasn't talking about this. I was talking about the ace 10 when he moved all in on Barry. Obviously, it didn't work out for him. But by moving all in there, or
Right.
had he raised a little bit, either way, it's to me it's much stronger than just calling.
Right,
With
right.
the ace
I'm
of
just saying
clubs.
he was in position.
Yeah, yeah.
When he
Oh,
went
I
over
see
the
what you
top.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, see
So
light shadow.
when he did that,
I mean, there were a couple of ways to play that hand.
it was like a $200 pot.
You're right, and I agree with you. I don't know what I was saying. That is the definition of a bluff. I was like,
Yeah.
well, it's not, I think I misunderstood. I was thinking more of just a clear bluff.
Right, yeah.
I didn't think
Well,
maybe we were counting semi-bluffs.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a clear. Just I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't bluffing without any outs.
Right.
See a turn.
Um,
He's afraid to see a turn card.
But
Raise, make it
like you said, I mean, there's when he makes that bluff there and he moves his chips in, there's a large percentage of time where he's not going to get called at all.
Right.
And then the few times that he does get called, he can still make his hand. Now, in this case, obviously, he got called and didn't make his hand, so it was kind of the worst of both
160.
things worked out for him.
160.
Didn't work out for him, obviously.
It's a raise here to 160. And I want to address more of this with Ron Rose after this hand is done. Because we've been having this discussion. Well, if you had the best hand, it was the right call. And I want to go into the range of hand percentages thing in a minute here.
Right.
So, what do you
King
think
5
he's doing
Jack.
right now?
Ed's got top pair here.
Checking his shorts or
A
what?
couple of clubs out there, but nobody's got a club.
He's got to go. He's probably in the bathroom now, just checking.
Ed bets out.
checking
Barry's
his
made
shorts.
most of his money over the last 6 months just making big, tough calls, huh?
Back to the casino.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Ed is going to take it down. Now, to remind viewers about the Ron Rose
That's all
play,
right.
he had ace-10 offsuit, and I believe
Everybody
the
deserves
flop
to
came
win a
with
big
3
pot,
diamonds.
even-
Mhm.
He had
With an ace.
With an ace. So he had top pair, and he had the 10 of diamonds in his hand. And Dr. Beebe had the king of diamonds, so the nut flush draw.
And for people that aren't familiar, Dr. Beebe is one of our tighter players.
Right, and Dr. Beebe moved all in on the flop, and Ron Rose called. Kind of similar to what Kenna did there.
Quite work it
Now,
out. You might
the
wanna
thing,
just, like,
and actually we're getting word here that Russ McGinley has posted up that ace-10 offsuit is actually a 51-49
really didn't,
favorite
you know,
over
I don't-
King Jack.
I don't
in that
want
Really?
hand.
Okay.
Okay. And King Queen 8 on the flop.
that's a good way
You've
to
got
look
to
at
put
it.
the guy on a
That's a good way to look at it.
range of hands. Do you want to commit all of your chips if you put him on
But when I'm not in a pocket,
the times that he's 50-50? Okay. Well, first of all, Barry was actually an underdog in the hand we just learned. So
Right.
the times that he's way ahead, I think, clearly outnumber the times where you're ahead, and you're forced to call all in. So just because you have the best hand at that time, I don't necessarily think it means it's the right call all the time, Dave.
No,
I don't
no.
think it's that clear cut.
Oh, without
You
a
know?
doubt. Without a doubt, it's not. It's a matter of just trusting your reads, trusting your instincts.
Yeah.
Putting a guy on a hand, whether it be a range of hands or not. But it's more of, when you're playing no limit, it is about one hand and putting a guy in a specific hand and going, okay, what does this guy have?
Ed bet 80 here with 8-10, and Ramsey called. He's got a gut shot and overcards. The turn is a 4,
Bet 50.
and Ed is going to bet, and Ramsey calls.
You should never go all in against a guy that wears a shirt that says Ezekiel on it.
And look at this. Ramsey's going to bet the river.
Where says it also?
He's going to represent the
Really?
flush. He
So
check
I-
called the turn.
Nice
I
bluff
thought you
here. He's
actually went to the
representing.
bathroom
Yeah.
to check your underwear.
So maybe, again, he was thinking if I hit my ace, my queen, my jack, or a diamond,
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty
it
think
could
that's
be
what
good.
he's doing. Let's see if it works. Whether it works or not, it's a heck of a try.
And
it
look at that.
does.
That's a great bluff there by,
Super bluff.
By
Nice
Ramsey.
play by Ramsey there.
yeah.
That's a great
Write that one down, Dave. Ace, queen.
Yeah, represents the
problem
represents
with
the
that is that
yeah.
even
the
if
diamond,
you do have
and that's
ace and you're
important
right,
to know.
And I do have the ace of clubs. I still got the
When you're
and the
drawing
overcard,
for
so I've
something,
got 12 outs here.
Trying to
You're
think of
only,
other cards that you might be able to use
54-46 favorite.
to win the pot.
So that's why.
coin flip.
Yeah.
Most people won't get the money in on a coin flip.
Right. No, that's good.
Now,
it showed me a lot of heart. That's great.
Apologize for beating you.
You have to buy. It showed
What I
me
was gonna
that you
say,
had a
though,
lot of
Dave,
heart.
was-
I respect it.
So if Kenna turns his hand over,
We're
now
gonna
I don't
see
know
how
if I
much
can
heart you
give.
got when you got to put in 10,000.
I don't necessarily know if I give credit for Barry would have been able to figure the odds out in his hand like
Right.
that, right? That.
I might turn my
But if he
hand
turns the
over
hand
and
over,
say-
are you telling me it's the right call for Barry to call when he's an underdog, or when it's 50-50?
I mean, essentially
You know what I
it's
mean?
50-50 underdog. I
So
mean,
why would he want to commit all his chips when it's 50-50? So I'm thinking that
well-
his read is wrong, because if Kenna turned his hand over
Great
and he
call,
knew what he
Frank.
had,
well, there
he would
is.
make the call.
I'll throw something at you though. It's 50-50, but there's $1,500 of dead money in the pot. So you're
Was there that
yeah.
much in the pot?
He
Okay.
bet 600.
Well,
You got called
that's-
600 and then raised for the
that's a-
4,000.
yeah, That's a good point.
So now you're
Yeah.
going, okay, I'm betting 50-50. I've got to call, say I've got to call 3,300
Right.
to win 8,000
Right.
or 8,200. Well, now, okay.
Okay. I'll buy
I got to
that.
be honest with you. I think it was a great call by Barry, and I still think it was a great play by
Kenna.
Kenneth. Just- Sometimes it works out that way. That's poker.
Loy bet here with ace queen. He's going to take it down.
But lost in that whole shuffle. A really nice play by Ramsey there.
Yeah,
I know it was a
absolutely.
small pot, so sometimes you don't look at those kind of plays. But it's really important sometimes, if you have overcards, to think of other cards, or if you have a flush draw, to use overcards also as as scare cards that you can bluff with. Kathy Liebert actually said that one time, where she said, well, I had second pair. I didn't know if I was behind or not, but I figured if I hit 2 pair trips, or if a flush card came, I could represent the clubs in that case.
Well,
That's
I was way off on the Spanish-American thing, Dave.
Make it 150.
Mexico's been independent of Spain since 1812. This is from Rick Nebbiolo. And he also challenges you to heads up on World War II versus Civil War knowledge.
Challenges me to... Wow. I took a couple of courses in college. You know, I know some knowledge. I know some stuff. I'm not really... I don't think I'm ready to challenge somebody heads up, especially when he has a computer at his arsenal right now.
Well, he's saying without the Google.
Without Google? Oh, wow.
Jack 5 deuce here on the flop. I believe Kenna brought this one in for a raise. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I checked around there on the turn. On the flop, I mean.
Well, the turn is an ace. And it gets checked around again, and the river's a 3. And it looks like
Kenna's hand's still the best.
Yeah.
Bet 80.
Ed's going to bet. And Kenna calls.
Yeah, and that's just not enough, Ed.
Sit down.
For what?
And Kenna takes
going to win.
an $80 bet there on the river is just not going to get it done. I mean,
No.
I like the try by Ed, but you didn't bet the jack, you didn't bet the ace. You're going to bet the 3 of hearts. What are you representing here? 4?
Yep.
And if you're representing a 4, then you're going to bet more than $80. Maybe I can play Rick heads up. You know, we'll play a mixed game. We'll do World War II. We'll do sports. We'll do Civil War. And we'll play some like
Throw
deuce to
some
7
Padoogie in there.
Yeah, we'll throw Padoogie and deuce to 7 triple draw.
Yeah. A couple of trivia questions.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
A couple of triple draw games.
That'll make for an exciting webcast, huh? Having trouble sleeping? Watch this.
Got a raise there by Kenna. He's got 7-9 offsuit, and I think he's steaming a little bit there, obviously, Dave. King, deuce.
Ooh, Ed's got trips.
Yeah, Ed flops trips. Checks it from up front.
And look at Kenna. He plays it pretty straightforward here. He didn't bother betting the 9s because he had a hand. He already has to bet because he knows 9 high is not going to take it down.
Raise the 2-7.
So he's bet 70, and I think Ed check raised him to 140 total. And Kenna makes the call, Dave. Wow. He minimum check raised
Now,
him.
Ed doesn't really bluff very much.
Oh, and the turn's a 9. Now Kenna has a pair.
Yeah.
And if he was thinking he was check raising with a flush draw, Dave, it got there on the turn.
That's what I mean. I mean, what do you think? You think Ed was making that play with a deuce?
Look at Kenna. It's a $300 bet here on the turn.
And Kenna's drawn dead.
This isn't a good time here to make this move. Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
He's doing this against the wrong player.
He's raised to 700 more now, and Ed quickly calls. And we've got over a $2,000 pot here.
And Ed probably thinks maybe his kicker's dead.
And the river's a 6. Actions on
And as good a play as it was, as good a play as that ace-10 was, I really think it was a great play by moving all in. This is really just a bad play by Kenna.
Well, actions on Ed. He just smooth called the turn, and Kenna has given up now.
Yeah, they check.
Yeah.
Nice hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ed is one of those players where he doesn't really raise unless he has it. I don't think I've ever seen Ed bluff. Really bluff.
Yeah.
I mean, he bluffed there on the river, $80, but that's not a bluff, I don't think. That's just giving $80 away.
Again, I just don't want to harp on that hand, but it's just over and over again. When he makes the move all in, what is the hand that you're looking for with King Jack for him to turn over? Because you're not going to be a big favorite.
You're actually hoping he's turning over a naked ace of clubs, just the ace of clubs.
And that's what he had, but he had the ace.
Right.
I mean, he didn't quite have it naked. He had ace 10. So that means that he was 50-50. Any
No.
other ace of clubs, he's going to, I mean, well, if he had ace
Well,
queen.
if it's just the ace of clubs, if it's ace 5 of clubs, ace
Yeah.
clubs and 5 of diamonds, well, then he's only got 12 outs.
Yeah.
And then I don't mind it. Then you're almost a 58% favorite,
Right,
and there's
right.
dead money in the pot. Then I'm going for it.
But I mean, I guess that's what you have to put him on, right?
You're putting him on a naked ace of clubs.
Yeah.
And you're not putting him on the... Because with the gut shot, obviously, then it pretty much is a coin flip.
6-way action here. Looked like it was limped around. We're going to see a flop.
And
8-5 deuce here, a couple of spades. Kenna's got a flush draw here, Dave. See how much he bets. It's about 120 in the pot.
Yeah, it worked.
And he's bet 270. Wow. And this pot actually might have been straddled somewhere, so the pot might be bigger. He might be betting the size of the pot. I couldn't quite tell if it was 20 or 40 that was called pre-flop.
And that was Kenna?
And Kenna has bet 270 now.
Yeah, with the flush draw.
Yeah.
Barry's giving up with top pair. He had the best hand, but he gave up.
Well, Daniel also has top pair here.
Yeah.
Jacks?
Kenna's going to take it down there.
And once again, we see, I mean, Ken is a marvelous player. Tournaments, obviously, his record speaks for itself. But once again, in the cash game, he's got to be able to change those gears.
Now, we didn't even say, what about that bluff there by Kenna on the turn to Ed? Isn't that a
Oh,
bluff?
I wrote it down.
Oh,
It
you
was great.
did?
It was I thought it was a terrible bluff, actually. But it was a bluff. He just bluffed the wrong guy. I mean,
Yeah.
when Ed check races, he has it. And like you said, if you did it with the hearts, the heart got there. What was he doing with the
This
deuce?
guy's obviously
There's no draw out there.
So we're counting all of these bluffs. And it's
Right.
not necessarily a monetary
Oh, look at this. We've
manner
got
of-
2 votes for Ramsey for that bluff in there.
What's that?
When he was representing the diamonds. Now we're going to actually tally it up. We're going to tally these votes up at the end at about 8:40 or so, 8:45. So keep sending them in.
He just decided to screw us this.
And you can send in your vote for the biggest bluff of the night
Coming back and then
to liveatthebike.com.
Yeah.
Bracelet.
But I had aces up. I had every right to take it.
Sign. Check.
So Ken is moving over to seat 4 now. Or seat 5, I assume. And Mo's coming back into the game. Flop is king 3 queen here.
And Ken is moving all in. Actually, he's just moving his chips to seat 5.
Any special reason?
But it sounds better, doesn't it?
I want to make sure I get right on your right so that
And Mo is back in the game.
I want you on my right. So there'll be no excuses.
Now, when you're playing over somebody, you obviously do not get to keep that seat. So when the player comes back and, like, says Mo gets a seat in seat 1, and Ken has to move to the open seat.
Look at this. Loy's bet 500 here. He's continued with a bluff here, Dave.
He takes it
and
down.
Ed mucks.
Loy with the bluff.
Bet in the flop, bet in the turn. That's a big bluff right there.
Especially from him. I haven't seen any bluffs out of him since he lost the set over set. Bluffs with 5 high. And even though he's only against 7 high, he actually had to bluff
But still,
to take down the pot.
go up against it. For all your money is.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people
Look at
watch.
this. Listen to this. Ken is talking to Barry about how can you make that call with King Jack? All your money.
Yeah.
I said probably. I'm not saying I would or I would, but probably I would. Well, not even
He's saying probably he wouldn't.
Well, like you said, I mean, even if he just had the ace of clubs, just the ace of clubs alone, he's got 12 outs.
No, give me in.
Well, actually 8 outs because he knows he has jack clubs in his hands.
I gotta get more money.
3 chips. Just
3 chips. 2. That's it. 2 chips to you. Chips. To, I mean, I'm just like Mr. Chips.
I mean, that might have been Barry's thinking. You know, he's got a naked ace of clubs, and I have a jack of clubs in my hand. That's 1 less club, so he's only got 11 outs. Okay.
Could have had ace king.
But it is a little tight.
Could have had ace queen.
Oh yeah, there are a
Could
lot
have
of
had
hands.
2 aces.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna have to raise.
Raise it.
You know, you guys know.
Barry is
I'm
ready to
gonna
gamble,
win
I
this
guess,
game
huh?
A little bit now, right? Once I get stung for 5,000.
140.
And Ken is going to raise here to 140.
You know,
Sometimes a
you know
good
that's
poker
gonna
play is not rewarded.
So
You know?
if I give somebody a bad
And oftentimes we see bad poker play be rewarded. So sometimes you can't look at the result and then judge the play.
Well, Kenna and Ramsey both have the best hand. Kenna has position on Ramsey. And again, chances are that this flop is not going to hit anyone. So here we go. Oh, what do I
Hey,
know?
what-
Oh, and what a flop for Ramsey. He's going to free
Yeah,
roll
that didn't
here,
hit him at
Dave.
all.
He's going to free roll ace 9-6, couple of diamonds.
And it looks like Ken has bet like $200.
Yep. No, he's actually bet, I think it was 300, and Ramsey has moved all in.
You only got 1,000. All right, I call.
And Kenna calls quickly, and Ramsey's on a free roll.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And Ramsey's going to get there about 33, 34% of the time.
Turns a deuce. Let's see if Kenna escapes this one. Oh, he does, Dave. He escapes.
It's no good. I'm sorry.
Take back your chips.
Wow.
Did I dodge a bullet there?
I'm not sure how much more money it was.
It was
only
1,000. But Kenneth said it was only 1,000. I call.
I mean, that's
So.
a that was a really questionable call, I got to say, don't you think? Calling with ace-7 without a diamond in
It
your hands?
was. It was. I think it was a frustration call. I mean,
Yeah.
he called like that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like he gave me outkicked with ace-7.
I mean, exactly. He
Yeah.
could get killed by ace-10, ace anything, really. Can't beat anything.
Now, the reason why I'm wearing these sunglasses,
Why is that?
I actually left my glasses at home, and I need some sort of prescription to make out the suits of the card. It's the only time I wear my glasses. So these are my poker glasses, and if Isaac, he flips back here, see, they reflect, so you can't see my eyes.
Kind of scary.
Poker glasses.
Ooh. Very intimidating, Bart.
We've got
Ace-Jack-9 here on the flop.
5-way action.
Daniel, we haven't heard much from him all day. He's got ace-queen.
Check round players.
And he checks it.
Button is actually, he's
at the cutoff, Dave. He checked the ace-queen. The turn's an 8.
Wow. Okay. With a 9-jack board out there, it's a scary board. I'm surprised.
And he checks again.
And Barry's gotten there now. Barry's got a flush.
And the river's a 7. Ed makes jacks up. Barry makes a flush. It's a one-liner to a straight if anyone has a 10. How do you not bet with ace-queen there on the flop? In position. Boy, that's pretty passive.
Passive? What are you doing? What are you waiting for? I mean, I'll give him credit. At least he didn't pay off on the river.
The biggest bluff. That's only.
I mean, ace-jack-9 board. It gets checked to you in the cutoff seat. And you check. Then the 8 of clubs comes out. It gets checked to you in the cutoff seat. You check again. I mean,
I know I'm ready for the hard stuff. You want me to buy you
I guess he's waiting for the nuts, huh?
Yeah.
Hot that.
And look at that. We've got a vote for Loy now, who bluffed with the 5 high. And the votes are flooding in, folks. You have until about 8:45 to make a vote. We're going to tally them up then.
Pocket aces. We haven't seen aces in a while. Seat 4. And he's limped, Dave, under the gun. He's limped under the gun.
Option 6.
And he's not going to get the chance to limp re-raise.
3 players.
Nope. Let's see what happens. Loy's got a flop here. He's got pocket deuces.
Yep. 7-8 king.
Not much of anything for anybody.
Ramsey's
Good flop
gonna
for
throw
Ramsey
that
there.
out.
He takes it down.
You gotta have one to smash it, man.
Have one? I got 2.
I mean, I had to double check that hand with Daniel to make sure he actually had ace-queen like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, they call me one not dead. It's so big, it equals 3 of yours.
The Cyclops nuts. The Cyclops.
Once again, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here at Bart Hanson, and we're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are $10 and $20, and it is bluff night here at the bike. The person who gets the best bluff of the night, or the biggest bluff of the night, as voted by you and us, wins a $100 bottle of Camus Cabernet.
Yep, only live at the bike. You get to sit here and talk about nuts.
So please vote on your biggest bluff of the night. You can vote by going to liveatthebike.com and emailing us.
All right, I'm going to raise this. Raise it. 250.
And Ken is going to raise. Jack-9 he has.
Good raise, sir.
Out of the
Okay,
blind.
call, 250.
$250.
I'd call 2 if I had your hand.
And Mike Wynn is going to call, and he's dominated here, Dave.
Calls $250 with Jack 4. Wow.
Don't call poker gambling for nothing.
I mean, I understand you figure Kennett is
Steaming a bit.
but what can Jack 4 beat?
There's Diablo.
Guys, Diablo is
Hey, Diablo, I need your luck. Stay right here.
We're having fun here at the bike. And Ken has outflopped him. He's at his 9.
500.
500.
And he bets 500.
And the thing is, Mike doesn't even, he just checks it. He doesn't even represent.
Diablo has that shirt, the same shirt on every night. Much like me, people will say.
Yeah, well, I think you own more than one.
Yes, I do.
And I'm assuming that It's Diablo's plumbing shirt, and I'm assuming he owns more than one as well. I hope so. For Barry and Kenneth's sake.
No wonder you're buying the cocktail, right?
Now Mike's play in seat 3. I mean, I know I'm overly critical of his play, but his play has really kind of befuddled me all night.
What's the most expensive?
His calls and stuff, you know. Call $250 pre-flop with Jack 4 of clubs, and then just check and fold.
You cannot afford that.
$14 a glass for wine? Is that like a Merlot or
A couple of big aces here.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get a chip count. Kenneth's got 11,000. Has he rebought?
I imagine he has.
Down like $4,000 or $5,000, Dave, for the night. And possibly even more than that.
Well, that chip count is clearly. I think they must be taking Kenneth's money and putting it in Barry's money, because Barry's got way more than 4,000 now.
Yeah. We'll fix that one up.
Yeah,
in a
well.
second here. Ace King, Ace Jack.
Pocket deuces for Loy again in seat 2.
I'm buying drinks. What do you guys
Oh, yeah, give me a one.
And Mike, who we haven't heard from, he's going to raise it up with Ace King. Maybe he'll bet if he hits his Ace or King this time.
I know, why play Ace King?
Yeah.
Cocktail here.
It's actually Daniel in seat 8.
He's buying cocktail.
Oh, Daniel, excuse me. And I think Ken is buying drinks for the whole table. Loy mucks pocket deuces.
So we confirmed that Kenneth does have 11,000. We're just trying to find out exactly what Barry has.
And Daniel is going to take it down. So I think Barry has 5,000 more than we had up there.
Right. So Barry's got about 9,000, and Ken has got 11,000. I think that's why Ken. I think that's why Ken is rebought for 11. He wants to cover Barry.
I think that Barry has about 11,000. I think them two are pretty much head to head here.
Well, let's see. We've got about $40,000 on the table right now.
Yeah.
All right, then it's next Friday. It's on tonight, too, then. So those of you at home. Those of you at home.
Limp, limp, limp.
You're in it also? Yourself
I
also?
commentate, yeah, I'm a commentator. Oh, it's on me?
And the call.
I can't.
Option, sir.
I wonder how much Ken gets paid for Poker Royale. I wonder if it's more than us for Live at the Bike.
It has to be more than us. Guarantee you it's more than us.
4, 6, 8 here, a couple of hearts.
Barry's got a gut shot here. Actually, Barry's actually got a double gutter. He's got 10-7 here. A 5 or a 9 would have given a straight.
Well, the turn's a 3 of hearts. No one really has a high heart here.
No.
He's going to probably get checked around again. And the river's a 7, so there you go. Barry makes a straight.
No, Barry actually makes a
Barry makes
pair.
a pair, excuse
Right.
me. Pair 7s.
But
it looks
Daniel
like,
makes a straight.
Yeah, Daniel has got the straight with 5, 6. That's what I was looking at.
Show.
And he didn't bet it.
Pair of 7s.
Did not bet it.
Straight.
Oh, Daniel, it's nothing like not putting the money in the pot with the best hand, Dave. Every single time. I mean,
I know tight play. I've seen tight play. I mean, there's some guys that just aren't comfortable playing at this level and are really looking to flop 2-pair or better.
well, do you remember way back in the beginning of the show when he had a straight, which was pretty much the nuts with the queen? It was a one-liner, and he check-called.
Who?
Ramsey's bet on the button. Daniel. And they chopped the pot up. This was way back in the beginning
right,
of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised he didn't throw that away. Now that you think about it, now that I'm watching the way he plays.
100.
100?
Now, if you're paying attention to this game and you're watching the way Daniel plays, and there, I mean, obviously we see cards that they don't see. Nobody else saw that ace-queen, but people do see that he didn't bet the 5-6 there on the river.
Right.
Anytime Daniel does bet, I'm out. Unless I have the nuts, I'm gone.
2 players.
Well, C3 is raised to 100, and Ed is called with 6-8 offsuit. Mike's came in there with queen, king. Flop comes deuce, deuce, 10. Doesn't hit anyone. Mike bets.
Right now, I don't consider this really a bluff.
200.
He has the best hand, and it's kind of a continuation bet.
Yeah.
Like you say.
I don't know. I might be partial more to Ramsey's bluff there on the river against Ed.
Yeah, my
Ace
two
queen.
favorite bluffs of the night was definitely Ramsey representing the diamond draw, the flush, and obviously Kenneth's semi-bluff
Because
with the
again, I know
ace-10.
we didn't clarify in the beginning, but Kenneth's hand was good enough to move. I mean, it was a semi-bluff, but Ramsey was a bluff.
Right?
You know, it was a bluff.
Hey, there's no real rules here. This is Live at the Bike. It's inappropriate. It's just fun. So, however you interpret the rules, you vote. And everybody is free to vote the way they want to at liveatthebike.com.
I need a therapist. Amateur.
$60 raise there by C5. Kenna's got a suited connector, 8-9 of hearts.
Hey, I got the masseuse to laugh. That was the first time.
But I do agree with you. I really liked Ramsey's bluff there.
Yep.
Representing the diamonds.
Where do you study?
And here we go, 5-way
Can't
action.
get any patience.
Kenna's flopped the flush draw, Jack, deuce 4. And no one really has a pair here, so if he bets... Oh, he didn't bet it, Dave. I was going to say, if he
Wow,
actually
the cutoff
bet
seat,
there...
he didn't bet?
If he bet there, he would have taken it down. Now the turn is a 3.
Surprised in the cutoff seat he didn't bet it.
And still no one has a pair, right? Well, king deuce over there for a mirror. And looks like it's gonna get checked around again.
Wow.
And the river's a heart, and that's gonna give him the flush.
And the ace doesn't help anybody, so.
He's gone to the bathroom. He's made his flush. And he's gonna bet 500 here.
Yeah, he's overbetting the pot, kind of hoping somebody thinks he's bluffing.
Right. Well, no one has an ace. I mean,
Nobody's
that's
got
actually
anything.
probably his. That's actually a great heart to come because anyone with a 5, it makes a straight.
Right.
And anyone with an ace, maybe might think their hand was good.
Yeah, and somebody might have been in there with like ace deuce or ace
Right,
4,
right.
having 2 pair, and maybe would pay him off, thinking he's bluffing.
Gave it to me. You did? Thank you, Kelly. I didn't give it to him. He. It did. It stung.
Now, do you think the sunglasses, do they help you at the poker table?
They help me see the cards.
Do they help your image, though? I mean, do you think, like, people can't... Do you think people are actually looking at you to get tells?
Not normally in the games that I play in. I think people are just, worried about looking in general at the stud high-low table. The cataracts and glaucoma is going to come through. I've never really heard of stud high-low tells, Dave. That's really a mechanical game. More so than Limit Hold'em, too.
Oh, look at the tell. You must have it.
Yeah.
The board is 2, 3, 4, 5. You think he has a wheel? Although I actually have seen, I've called off some bluffs in the end when people have really bet strong on the river. And I go, hey, you didn't make your hands. No way. That whole, bet strong, you're probably weak and bet weak, and you're probably pretty strong.
You got 2 customers.
I think Kenna raised here to 200 and with pocket 9s, and Ramsey with pocket 8s, and Mike with ace king have called.
Okay.
$650 pot. Jack 4-7. Couple
Kenna's
of
still in the
spades.
lead.
Not a bad flop for pocket 9s.
Thank you, Barry.
But look at ace king lead.
He bets 200,
Little
though.
stop bet.
Might work, though. Let's see.
Let's see if Kenna falls for it. How about that? There's a bluff.
There's
Ace
a bluff.
king.
Well, the one thing, if you're paying attention to Mike and you're watching it, Mike hasn't bet any flop yet. He always just checks and check and call or check and fold. So I guess when he does bet, he gets the benefit of the doubt. At least he did there.
So basically, we're going to stop the bluff contest at about 8:40, and then that'll give us time to really tally up the votes, get your votes in.
Yeah, exactly. Get your votes in by 8:45, please. Get them all in.
Yeah.
We haven't tallied them up yet, but just looking at a few here, Loy's got a couple of votes. Ken has got a couple of votes. Ramsey's got a few votes. Barry's even got a couple of votes.
Hey.
So jump in there. Email us at liveatthebike.com.
Pot is limped around.
flags just flying. That took me
We are live at the bike here, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are $10 and $20, and the action is hot and heavy.
Dave, Mike has bet in here with Jack high, and Ramsey is called with Ace 8. Kenna's got a flush draw. He's going to raise it up and a pair. He's got a flush draw and bottom pair.
Yep.
been raised.
Yeah, Mike's got top pair here with Jack, right?
Exactly.
Yep, he bet. Ramsey called. Kenna's raised.
Yeah, it would be.
Kenna's made it 250 to go. The bet originally was
Now,
90.
this is another one of those semi-bluffs. He's got a big hand. I mean, any king, any deuce, or any club, but he is behind right now.
Well, Daniel's got an open-ended straight draw, and he's thinking about chasing here, Dave. But someone is on the flush draw, so this would not be a good time.
It's tough to, because you think maybe I have 8 outs, or maybe I only have 6 outs. If the club comes, if a 7 of clubs comes, I'm not good. And let's see what Mike does here. And Mike lays it down.
There you go.
But Ramsey's going to call
But
with
Ramsey
second
calls
pair.
with second pair.
And Ramsey doesn't have that much money left.
Wow. Over a $500 pot. There's the
Kenna
club.
gets there. And that's a nice little semi-bluff by Kenna. I really like it. It's one of those semi-bluffs, and this time he got there.
Oh, I'm all in.
And Kenna moves all in.
All in, call.
And Ramsey calls him, Dave, like it was nothing. He doesn't have the ace of clubs in his hand.
Wow. I think
Wow.
he just, Kenna's got that kind of wild man image at the table, and sometimes it pays off.
It's not bad if you've got that image to bet your good hands as well, and that's your
Well, that's what Ken is so good about.
Yep.
He bluffs, and he'll bluff up a couple $1,000, but that image really creates it, and he stays it. He doesn't slow play his hands, his big hands at all.
I'm not the star. Kenna is the star.
And I think Ramsey has watched Kenna bluff one too many times and just figured, hey, he's on a bluff again.
I make the flush on the 200.
And that was about, what, a $2,000 pot?
Yeah.
Lose it on the 5,000.
Nice pick up there by Kenna.
Call. Hold on. 50.
See, four's playing 1,000 behind.
1,000 behind 4.
Ramsey's going
Been
to
raised
buy
to
back
50.
in for 1,000.
He called.
Kenna has raised it up to 50. Actually, I'm not sure if it's Ramsey's got ace king. Ramsey might have made it 50, and Kenna may have called here.
Okay.
But regardless, the action's on Barry. And
The
it's
button is
$50
in
to
seat
call.
9.
And that'd be give him something to talk about.
Ed has made the call. 7
Ed's
spades.
sweating profusely here. He's got to wipe it all off.
Mo's in there with 6-9 in the small blind. Loy comes in.
Make it 250.
Oh, yeah. Ramsey's pulled the limp re-raise, Dave. So it was Kenna that
Made it
raised.
250.
And he's made it 250 to go.
Okay.
So you've got to, and I love that play actually with like 5 callers in between. Why not?
Well,
I might have even re-raised a little more.
And what was Kenna's raise? $50?
$50? You've got 5 people in there,
that's
and you only have
$250.
1,000 behind. I might move all in because he's only got 500 left now when he makes it 250.
Yeah.
Why not move all in with your remaining 750? I think that's probably what I would have done if I was only 1,000 behind.
So you're putting $1,000 in there. You're calling 250. And you're calling 50 and then raising 950.
Well, yeah, because there's $300 in dead money in the pot.
Yeah, I don't think you need. Like I said, though, I think 250 is enough to get the job done, though.
Right? He stepped on the mariachi.
I agree. It's not a bad play either
No.
way. But one thing they used to say about Stewie Younger was he was so good at betting the minimum that would get the job done, risking the minimum.
Yeah.
And Ramsey takes it down with ace king. Nice play there by Ramsey.
He has to give his cards up, though. I think he wants to keep them.
Yeah.
Forget it.
But getting back to that thing with tells and stud high low, not really. There aren't a lot of tells in that
No,
game.
not generally, but
Nah.
but there are tells in any type of poker if you're paying attention to
Right.
players. More tells in the sense of betting patterns, how people bet. Some people don't bet some people will bet their draws. Some people only bet their made hands. Some people will raise with high pairs, but only call with low, 3 low cards, 3 babies. And you can pick up tells in that sense of more betting tells.
He looks like he's holding that microphone like he's had the experience.
Stud high low we're talking about.
Exactly. Well, in any game, but you can pick up on betting tells, but definitely stud high low.
Queen 8-10 here, all diamonds.
Nobody's got a diamond in their hands. But Mike's actually got the best hand with a pair of 10s.
Got checked around, turned as an ace. And the river's a deuce.
What's that?
Looks like Mike's hand's good here with Jack 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tens are
There
good.
it is. Take it down, Mike. But you know what I mean? Like, if we're playing stud high low, and I'll give you an example. Let's say I raise with a 4 showing, right?
Small blind. Big blind.
And you re-raise me with a 3 showing.
Nothing yet. Only fair.
My guess is that you probably have aces, kings in the hole,
Yeah.
or you rolled up 3s.
Yeah. Well,
Because you, and I know you as a player, you're a pretty solid player. If you've got 3, 4, 5, you don't want to eliminate the
right,
field.
or ace deuce 3. Not really.
You don't want to eliminate
Yeah.
the field. You want to keep them in. But if you've got a big pair, you want to try to, get it heads up with me.
Ooh,
And I know that.
pocket aces over there in the big blind.
And that's Kenna.
Ed's got jacks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
That's
it's not
actually
Kenna,
not
it's
Kenna.
Ramsey. And Ed has raised it up. I think it's 200 with pocket jacks. A call with ace 10 of diamonds, and oh boy, Ramsey's going to re-raise here to 500 with
He holds
aces.
that microphone a little bit too comfortable.
Now, he
Ask
just
him
raised a
if
little
he's
earlier, a couple of hands ago, so he might not get the respect, and he doesn't. He
And
gets
look at
called.
this, Ed calls with the jacks. We got another big hand brewing there, folks.
He held that.
We'll talk about our hand. Come on, let's
He's got an $1,150 pot now to the flop.
2 players.
Two-way, heads up.
Okay.
And Ramsey just went in blind.
A bluff interview.
Oh boy, he bet blind. Actually moved all in blind.
Yeah.
8-7 deuce. And Ed's got jacks, and Ramsey doesn't have a lot, so you'd think he's probably going to make the call here. Let's see how much it is.
I've seen people make this move with ace king sometimes also, not only
730.
aces.
730. Stop and go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And he makes the call, and he's going to need to catch a running straight combination or a jack.
Right. Look at that, ace of clubs, jack of clubs, ace of hearts, jack of hearts.
We're looking at about a $1,800 pot here. Turns a 6.
No help, needs a jack here, and a jack only.
River's a king. Ramsey takes it down there with aces.
Takes it down, and Ramsey, after losing that big pot to Kenna, he's making a little bit of a comeback.
Yes, he is.
Only 20 minutes left to vote for the biggest bluff of the night. You can vote at liveatthebike.com. Just email us there, liveatthebike.com.
Kenna, did you want to take a big? No.
I win a big putt. I'm not even in Canada.
Okay. Go ahead.
Nobody knows.
Again, it would still make sense to me to hold off on your vote until about 9:40, so that we can see all the hands. 8:40,
Right.
excuse me, on Live at the Bike Time.
Oh, you
from
can
last
vote more
week.
than once, so it's like American Idol.
Oh, yeah. Different email addresses.
Exactly. Well, you're just stating your case for each. You're stating your case for each one.
Raise it.
Just poker time.
130.
Mo's got ace queen of hearts, and he's going to raise it 130.
And Ken is taking a break for a second. He's actually currently getting interviewed. Going to talk about that bluff he had. A couple of bluffs he's made. And there he is.
And he's talking about 5,000 with one pair.
Ken is like bigger than life. Look at him.
Ed is called here with ace 5 of spades.
It's the best hand. It's okay.
Wow, big spot. Big flop for Mo.
Yeah, flush draw over cards. 10-9-4. Mo bets 300.
Hey, oh, good. Now I missed the line.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Tell a joke too. Ramsey,
Tell a joke. Yeah, tell a joke.
Yeah, he say a joke. Tell a joke.
And he makes the call, Dave. The turn's a
How
10.
you hold it.
Wow, let's see if he represents a 10 here.
See, now you held it a lot
And it goes check, check, and the river is a 10.
And now they both have 3
And look at this,
tens.
Ed doesn't even, and Mo probably doesn't think he's got the best, well, maybe he thinks he has the best hand. Ed probably could have bet that at any spot and taken it away on the turn and on the river.
Imagine how giddy I'd be if I
Well,
was
possibly not on the turn. Mo
I
still
just don't
had the flush
understand.
draw.
What is he calling $300 on the flop for?
That doesn't make any sense.
probably would have repopulated.
Sometimes I watch this game and it just completely befuddles me. I'm sitting there. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching the same game I watched last night. Last night we had the $40 buy-in game, ladies only.
I mean, I've lost every time on this show. I'm having backlash from people. They're saying, this guy...
I tell you, some of the guys in this show are better looking than some of the girls last night,
He's a
though.
monkey fish. Why does he get so much publicity?
Listen again.
So I got to fight hard for those people at home. Yeah, we're only on another half hour, 9 o'clock.
Yep.
100. Flown by.
Barry's raised here with pocket jacks.
Now, obviously, this game, and for anybody who doesn't know, this game does continue on through the night. These guys will play all night.
Let's see if Kenna makes this call. He's got 6-7 offsuit. They're really deep here, Dave.
And he's itching to play a hand with Barry.
Yeah, I mean, they're extremely
Well, he
deep.
knows Barry will pay him off. That's the whole point.
All right, I
Right.
check.
And he
So
checks
weakness right
blind.
off the start.
Oh, boy, and he's picked up 2 pair, and Barry has the over pair.
Wow, this could be it right here. This could be it.
I'm gonna
250.
raise his butt.
And here we go. Kenna's going to raise. Oh, this is could be a monster brewing here.
Well, Barry has trouble getting away from hands.
$250 bet, and Kenna says he's going to raise. Come over to Live at the Bike for this hand, folks.
800.
He's going to raise it, I believe. Is it 800 or 500 here?
You know what's interesting, though, is he moved all in before, right? When he had the draw. And this time he just raises a little bit. You wonder, it's almost like does he want to be called here? And last time he didn't want to be called? I don't know if you could pick that up or not.
Would you move all in here then instead? I mean, we're talking really deep. We're 11,000 deep.
Well, maybe not all in, but maybe if you make a ridiculous raise. I'm not sure,
Protect
to be
those
honest with
chips
you.
now. You just got those.
I just want to watch it, enjoy it.
Don't be careless with them.
Kenna he made it 800, and there's no way Barry's getting away from this right now. And he re-raises, Dave. He's going to come over the top for 1,000 more. He makes it 2,000 straight.
At this point, I'd go all in.
Oh, boy. This is going to be
At this point, I'm
crazy.
all in if I'm Kenna.
Well, he's only got bottom 2 pair.
He's not getting away from it, though.
It's 1,000 more here.
What do you put Barry on? Set of 10s or 8-9?
Well,
You're not going to put him on 10-6 or 10-7, right?
well, you know, the pot size now is about $3,000. It's 1,000 for Kenna to call. Oh, this is going to
And Kenna's hand is very vulnerable. Barry can catch a jack or a 10 right now.
Right.
Wow. This is it, folks. They're both about $11,000 deep, too.
Well, this is what you talk about, Dave, when you have those implied odds to call, because he won't release this overpair.
Well, that's the whole thing. And that's
Yeah.
the reason why Kenna was bought in for $11,000, because he realized before that Barry called him down with just 1 pair before.
I mean, you think he thinks his hand is good right now, though, right?
Kenna usually doesn't like to mix it up in really big hands, so
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, I know in tournaments he likes to win small pots. He doesn't like to gamble it up.
Well, the guy from India said what to do.
All right,
He can't call one.
And he calls. Wow.
Well, maybe he'll see the turn.
So we
see
got
what
a
happens on the turn.
$4,000 pot here. The turn is a king.
Well,
Well,
if you put him on aces, kings, queens, or jacks, a king might have given him a set.
and Barry's going to bet here.
And it looks like, I want to say 1,500. It looks like he's going to put in there.
It's a $4,000 pot. He bets 1,500. So it's 5,500 in the main pot, 1,500 for Kenna to call.
5,000.
And Kenna check raises to 5,000 with the purple chip.
Wow.
Look at that purple chip. With 1 chip, it's a $5,000 check raise.
Wow.
And the wine.
Oh, my goodness.
no jokes now.
Wow.
It was 5,500. The pot is now about 11,000. It's 3,500 for Barry to call.
If Barry calls, he's going to need to catch a 10, a king, or a jack.
Yeah.
He's got 8 outs.
Pot is again about 11,000.
3,500 to call.
He can't beat the king, and he makes the call.
Well, you know what? He knows Kenna can bluff him.
$14,000 pot. It's a 10. And the river's a 10. He gets counterfeited. Oh, what a brutal beat. And he moves all in here. He's going to move all in. He's representing the 10. He's moving all in. He knows it's the only way he can win the hand. He's bet all in. He's representing the 10. And what can Barry beat? He can't beat the king.
Yeah.
He check raised him with the 10. What a great move here by Kenna on the river.
And Barry thinks that the 10 actually killed him. He doesn't know the 10 saved him.
That's a great move by Kenna.
Without a doubt.
That's a great move by Kenna.
Wow.
Dave, the pot now would be about $25,000, $10,000 for Barry to call, or however much he has left. Actually, he only has about $5,000 left, so it's about $5,000 for him to call.
The pot is 22,000.
22,000. So it's gonna if he makes the call, it's over a $25,000 pot.
And Kennan knows he's beat right now. Kennan knows. Let's get a close up of his face. He knows he's beat.
He's beat. There's
He knows
nothing
it.
he can beat, but this is the move that he had to make on the river.
Well, he knows the 10 killed his hand. He knows it.
Yep.
Guaranteed he knows that 10 killed him. And he had to move in. He could not check it down because he knows Barry's got at least an overpair.
You make me very nervous.
And this is a huge pot, folks. This is
Now, how does Barry make this call?
Oh.
You get it back. How can he call here?
the only way Barry
It's
can call is
insane.
if the only way Barry can call is if he puts Kenna on either 2 pair
7-6, right?
or he puts him on
And
spades.
He calls. He makes the call again, and he's got all the money again. This is unbelievable. This is 3 times on Live at the Bike that Barry has done this. Oh my goodness. Oh. That's got to be the biggest bluff of the night, without a doubt, Dave.
And this is going to make Kenna sick because he's not going to understand how Barry could
How
possibly
can
make
you
the call.
call with jacks?
Oh, that's I got to be honest.
Look at that. Look at his face. How do you call with jacks there?
I can't believe he made that call.
How do you make a $5,000 call with jacks there on the river?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Especially the way the hand was played out.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he just put, I guess he's either frustration call or he just put Kenna on spades. And he said, there's no way, he's got spades. Spade didn't come, I'm going to stay in there unless he has spade hits. I cannot believe that. Wow, that's one of the biggest hands in Live at the Bike history.
Absolutely. Like I said, over $25,000.
Phenomenal.
Over $25,000. Oh, my goodness.
I'm not one to pat myself on the back, but, this bluffing thing, this is just genius.
Well, I don't think that had anything to do with the bottle of wine, but...
It was all for the bottle of wine, damn it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And that was a great bluff on the river by Kenna. He represented the 10.
Dave, he played
He
that
needed to.
hand as well as he possibly could have.
Yeah.
I'm flabbergasted that you can call there with jacks.
Yeah.
We saw Barry do it before with pocket sevens when Gore made a move 4 or 5 months ago. But he doubled through.
He's
He
doubled through
picked-
twice now. He's got
he picked
25,000 in
up
front of him.
11,000 from Kenna. It was over a $20,000 pot. Again, how do you make the call with jacks?
Yeah, and Kenna is probably stuck somewhere in the neighborhood of $16,000 tonight. And
Yeah.
I got to tell you, in the 2 big hands that he lost it on, he did nothing wrong. Now, the one hand that he lost, he blew off about $1,000 to Ed in what I thought was a bad bluff. But
Yeah.
that hand, he played that hand to perfection.
Yeah. And he didn't even hesitate to go all in the river. I mean, sometimes you might be able to pick a tell by a guy. He just went all in.
Well, I think he got sick when he saw the 10, and he just knew he had to bet it. He had to move all in.
I mean, that is insane.
Yeah, like the 15,000 isn't enough. Give him a bottle of wine.
Oh, my. And then he's going to push all those chips over to him. How does he make that call?
And Kenna, usually the jovial self, even he
Yeah.
gets a little stung there, losing $15,000.
Yeah. I mean, I just...
Yeah, I mean, mental note to anybody who plays against Barry: don't try to bluff him.
Don't try to bluff him. He can't... Either that or when you've got a monster, bet all of your money because he's going to call you, right?
Generally speaking, I mean,
Yeah.
Barry's a good player. I've seen him lay down big hands, but
Yeah.
he knows how to play this game. But that was just a monster call on the river. I cannot believe he made that call. Wow. Well, I'm going to have to ask Barry what he put him on. What did he put Kenna on? I mean, he had to put him specifically on 7-6 or specifically on spades because there's nothing else he could beat.
Full house here, plays on the board. New hand. And, well, yeah, I mean... the
Let's see if
thing
somebody
is-
bets it.
Well, the thing is, Dave, is that he check-raised him. He called, and then he check-raised him to 5,000 when a king appeared on
Yeah.
the turn. That's a little... I mean, would you do that with a spade draw? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but the thing was, the action happened on the flop. The flop is 10-7-6. I don't
Right.
put him. I don't think the king helped either player.
Yeah.
If I'm playing in that hand, I mean, you can't think that way. Maybe it did, but
Yeah.
the way the hand played out, you got to go. Nah, I'm putting him on a 10, maybe.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, hey, maybe he had king 10, but
Yeah.
is he really playing top pair that strong? I mean, I got to be honest. Barry did something tonight. There's no way I would have. He just won $16,000, and there's no way I make those calls and win that much money. No way. So, credit to him. He's $15,000 richer than I'd be.
Obviously, I'd like to ask like Mo there too. Obviously, Mo is in tune to the game. How do you make that? And we asked him about the Ron Rose play against Dr. Beebe.
Yeah.
How do you make a call there with pocket jacks? I just can't get over it.
Wow.
Oh, man, Barry's got a flush draw, a couple overcards and a flush draw. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest no-limit pots we've ever seen here.
Yeah.
Pot about $24,000.
And that's including the whale game. I think it's the biggest pot by far that we've had.
We saw a couple of limit hold'em pots
Right.
that were like 25, 26,000, but
Yeah.
not quite as exciting as that.
If you like a steak,
Wow.
if you like it.
And you can't fault Kenna at all.
What can you do there? It's
No.
crazy.
Wow.
That is
And is Kenna rebuying in for like 20,000 now, so he can cover Barry again?
Turns a 10. Ed's picked up top pair now. Check, check, and the river's at 3. I mean, you've got to be... We saw Kenna's face when Barry turned over the jacks. You've got to be sick to your stomach when he turns
said it
over
before.
jacks.
He said he couldn't believe that Barry called 5,000 with just one pair, top pair. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he said, I mean, that one, he's probably thinking the same thing. How can you possibly call that?
Wow.
You don't care anymore.
I mean, I think you're right in the sense of the king. I mean, maybe Kenna would put him on, maybe if I'm Barry, I put Kenna on king 10 and a full house in the river. And Kenna's just replaying in his head. He did nothing wrong there, Kenna. But whether he did something wrong or not, he's $15,000 poorer than he was 3 hours ago.
I mean, the way the hands played out, Barry can't really beat anything but a busted spade draw, and specifically 7-6, right?
Exactly.
Specifically 7-6 or a busted spade draw.
Well, and I know you always say put people on a range of hands, but I say a no limit. You got to put somebody on a hand.
Yeah.
And the way he played the hand might have been 7-6. That's a hand that he might have had.
Now, the only thing that we might have been a little off on is that Barry might have only had maybe 3,000 or 4,000 to call there, and it was a $20,000 pot. So it just
Pot
came to the
odds.
fact that
he's
it
going.
was so deep.
Maybe he's got spades, or maybe
Yeah.
he's got 7-6.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
200.
But what a killer river there. He had only
Oh.
8 outs, and he catches one of them.
Yep.
And Kenna got most of the money in with the best of it.
Low, big blind.
And you'll be the one to give him the bottle of wine, Dave. I'm not going up there.
I know. I don't really want to. Maybe I'll give it to Donna.
I don't even think we need a vote, Dave. I mean, does that not constitute the best bluff of the night? The biggest hot hand in the history of Live at the Bike. The guy's hand gets counterfeited. It's what he needed to do to win the hand.
Yeah,
at the end.
we'll still tally him up, but
Right.
yeah, obviously Kenna's that was a strong bluff on the river.
Yeah. Now, under the gun here is raised with deuce 5 suited. Mo has pocket aces in the big blind. I mean, that is just incredible. And let's see how much he's going to make it. Did he just call? No, he's going to raise.
There you go.
I was going to say, no way.
Not like Mo to just call
No,
it with aces.
no, he's going to make it 250 more.
Mo rarely tries to get too tricky with his aces. He really doesn't want to see flops. He likes just, if any caller is one caller, that's it.
Yeah. Wow. Loy's going to call here with deuce 5 of hearts. Well, if they're both deep, it's a better call than with something like king queen offsuit, right?
Yeah, I
But
suppose.
That's
Yeah.
couple gapped. I don't know if I'd stretch it that far.
Right,
And
yeah.
Ed makes the call.
I mean, we're talking $250, folks.
Or Ed has Ed called here? I thought.
He bet 6.
What do they got? Kenna Fever here?
He re-raised 250.
Well, Ed's thinking about calling.
Wow.
So it's going to be Mo with aces against a couple of two gap suited connectors.
Got an $800 pot here. Oh, wow.
Oh, and the flop comes
Oh.
10-8-9.
I thought it was 998 actually for a second there.
So
Got
Ed's
a
got a piece of it. You can't really love that flop if you're Mo, though, either.
No, of course not. But he bets $1,000.
Wow, he's going to bet 1,000. He's going to
Well,
figure
the
out where
pot's
he's
800.
at. Yeah.
He wants to.
And Ed calls? He's
Well-
got second pair and a gut shot. Backdoor club draw.
Well, they got some Barry fever, I guess. They figure it works for Barry. Why not?
The turn is a jack.
They just
Oh,
get-
that's just going to be horrible. Ed could really make a play here. He really could. Let's see what he does. Dave, but the pot's $2,000.
And he
let's see
does.
how much he bets.
He moves all in.
He's going to move all in. It's a $2,000 pot.
What a bluff here. I don't think Mo can call.
$13.95.
$14.95. But remember, Mo is great at reading people.
Yeah,
And this is he's counting the pot here.
Yeah.
'Cause the pot's 2,800.
$13.90.
He's basically getting 2 to 1 here.
28
It's $2,800 to call, $1,400, about $1,500 bet actually.
It's a $1,500 bet, $4,300 pot.
No.
Yeah, it was 2,800. 800 pre-flop, then 1,000 on the flop, and now all in on the turn.
Oh, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're
So
right.
we're talking a $4,300
Forgot
pot,
about that flop action.
and
yeah.
that's a great play by Ed here. Ed is representing.
So Mo's getting about 2 to 1, or yeah.
2 to 1, it doesn't make a difference if
Yeah.
you're getting 50 to 1. If you put the guy on a queen, he's
Right.
drawn dead.
So this is
Actually,
another
you can't
huge
even beat
bluff.
you can't even beat a 7. You can't beat 2 pair. Mo can't beat anything. You know what I mean?
We can beat 6-9. But remember, is Ed capable of making a move like this?
Well, that's the thing. I've never seen Ed make a move like this. So you got to look at it and go, wow.
Yeah. This is another big bluff.
And the problem is, it's not like you can outplay Ed here. All you can do is call him. And what the hell was that?
Sneeze or you made a noise? It's combination.
Oh, and Kenna was
that was kind of releasing the pressure of the table.
Kenna was releasing pressure. And this is another big hand. Wow. This show has been like just a highlight reel here. This is a really tough call from Mo.
Oh, he makes the call.
Wow.
And Ed obviously has outs.
You want to make a deal?
He needs a. Actually, no, he doesn't have any outs.
We could catch a 9.
You catch a 9? Oh, I'm sorry. You catch
Yeah.
a 9, a 6, right?
9 or 6.
Because a 7 is obviously a top
Yeah.
pot.
That's one.
And the river's a jack, and Mo's in great shape.
And they're going to run it 3 times.
Second river's a 3, and third river's a 3, and Mo takes all. He looks like a genius.
And that's a. We're
Wow.
talking about a $5,800 pot Mo
Yeah.
just took down.
Yeah.
And it's a great. I got to tell you, it's a nice bluff by Ed. It just didn't work.
Thank you, players. Thank you, Mo.
Hell, a call again.
Man, I guess the way to make money in this game is just to, when it looks like you have no chance of winning, call anyway.
$1,300 for 5,000.
Right?
Well, that's what Mo was saying right there. He said, you're right, and I misrepresented the pot size. He said it was $1,300 for him to call, and the pot was about $5,000.
Right.
So he said, so he's thinking in his head, what is the chance that he is doing this without, I guess, a straight?
Just with
But
2
yeah.
pair. Well, because if he has 2 pair, he's got 8 outs.
Yeah, he has 8 outs. He's getting about 3 or 4 to 1.
Not really there, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Mo.
I mean,
if
to
he
me, it's
ever,
a crying call.
Did he ever think that he was ahead though? He's got to put it the fact that there's a possibility that it might be ahead a little bit.
I guess
in
so.
the hand?
I'd like to ask him. I want to ask each one of these players how they feel after this game. Wow.
Sit up. Oh, no.
I mean, that's an insane call. 8, 9, 10 jack
Yeah,
out there. You
that
have
was-
pocket aces. And the guy bets $1,500 into you.
I keep saying I don't like the call. I don't like the call. Is it the right call because you have the best hand? I guess there's no clear-cut answer.
Man.
What are you doing?
Mo is raised here at
Amazing.
4-6 of diamonds.
And why don't we check the emails here? We only have a couple of minutes left to vote on the best bluff of the
I
night.
tell you guys, I got back-to-back. You guys believe it?
Yeah, pocket aces. I believe it.
People still liked, early on in the show, Dave, they liked Ramsey's bluff, but right now, I mean, Kenneth's bluff has got to, I mean, just the amount of the bluff, Dave. Yeah.
First time. Yes, he's fat,
And Richard actually put it best here he emailed us.
That was my. I had
He said he might have lost, but that was a monster bluff that showed fantastic heart.
Talking about Ken out.
Yeah.
Queen,
I
jack.
saw on the flop, he said, oh. And I said,
I mean, that last one, I don't want to overstate that last one, but Ed's bet on the river there, I mean, I'm just amazed at Mo calling. I've got to talk to
But
Mo
if I
after the
were in
show.
the game,
Yeah.
you wouldn't call it anyway. So
yeah,
there's a big difference.
or someone bets someone. 70.
Up against one person.
And actually, Donna is telling me in my ear, Dave, that if you think that I'm going to give that bottle of wine to Kenna, you're crazy. And she
great.
says whoever brought the idea up should give it to him. And I second that motion.
Super. Well, that's just fabulous. Thank you, guys.
Boy, he's flopped a nut straight here. And he's getting check raised by Amir with an ace, with a weak ace.
I got to tell you, this is one of those few nights where I really wish this webcast was going until like midnight.
Yeah.
The show is so great.
Loy has check raised, Amir, has check raised Loy with a weak ace. And let's see what Loy does here.
Another raise.
Well, he's going to re-raise. Now, sometimes you say you like to smooth call because you're in position and you force the guy to keep betting at you, right?
Right. But it's not exactly. When you're in position, obviously, you just have so many more options.
And he's
There are
fold.
2 spades out there, and I think he might be a little
Now,
more.
the funniest thing is, besides the Kenna bluff, if that hadn't happened, I got to think that Ed would have had the biggest bluff of the night there.
Ed
with
had
the
a
aces.
huge. Ramsey had a huge bluff.
Yeah.
Loy bluffed with 5 high.
Yeah.
We've had numerous bluffs.
Yeah.
And are we checking the emails here to see? We're just closing up here.
Yeah. And other people are, as we're getting to get in the floods of posts. How does now Barry calls the bet on the river because he's so pot committed?
Right.
How does he call the check raise for 3,500 on the turn when a king appears?
All I can say is maybe he's got a tell on Kenna, but that's not much of a tell because he was behind.
Yeah.
On the king.
Right. He was behind the entire time until the river.
Right. Obviously pre-flop he had him, but
Yeah.
once the flop comes out with a 7 and a 6.
That is unbelievable. Well, that's a good response here because we'll get to this after the hand.
I mean, without a doubt, on the turn, when Barry bets $1,500 and Kenna flips in the $5,000 chip and check raises him $3,500 more,
Yeah.
to me, your checks just can't be good there.
Amir had a flush draw with a pair, and he didn't play it hard. Ramsey's going to have the winning hand there in seat 4. Because Jive Dadson on 2+2 said, I think Barry might be picking up on. I think Barry may be picking up on tells, but I think you make a great point. He was losing.
Yeah.
How is he picking up tells if he's making the wrong call on the turn?
Yeah. Well, he made the wrong call on the flop. I mean, he made the wrong raise on the flop, and then he made the wrong call on the turn. And then basically,
Yeah, remember
he got
the
lucky
action.
on the river.
Remember the action in the hand. A check raised by Kenna. Barry re-raised,
Right.
and Kenna called. And I think what you were saying was right. He's probably waiting for a safe card on the turn.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that's nice about no limit hold'em is you don't have to get it all on the flop.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, it can all go on the river. It can all go on the turn.
yeah,
It's not like limit where if you miss a bet, you can't make it up.
yeah. Seat 1 here is raised to 70 with King Queen.
And it looks like we're tallying in the votes here.
Yeah.
Looks like Ramsey's gotten 11 votes. Wow, that's pretty impressive for Ramsey. And Loy with 4 votes.
Ace 10-6 here.
70.
Ed pulling in, I guess, from that last little bet here when he was representing 2-pair or straight against the Moe's aces. He gets 3 more votes. He now has 6 votes. But Kenna by far in the lead. Kenna with 19 votes.
There you go. And that's only from the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's gotten
Yeah.
he was the semi-bluff earlier on with ace of clubs.
Right.
Now with the 6-7 when the 10 comes in the river. Kenna with 19 votes, 8 ahead of Ramsey.
And look at Kenna. I mean, this is as quiet as I've ever heard him. And I've known the man for a while now.
Yeah.
You know, I
Well-
mean, it's just give me a break time after time.
Well, he lose $5,000.
And look at this. He hasn't been playing any hands now either.
No, he's in another place right now. I mean, you lose $5,000, it's one thing,
Yeah.
but lose 15,000, and
Yeah.
especially the way it was done.
No, I'm business.
Two players.
You ski?
Wow, this has been one of the greatest shows at Live at the Bike.
Jack 10-5 here. A couple of diamonds.
We're watching No Limit Hold'em here. Blinds are $10 and $20.
Amir's going to bet. Daniel checked the flop in position. The turn is a 9. And it's a $40 bet. And if Daniel mucked here, he could be possibly the tightest player in the history of Live at the Bike. Tight, weak player. I mean, are you kidding me? And then he makes the call.
He's behind, though.
Oh, he is behind. Yeah, 5-10.
Yeah, Amir's got 10-5.
Yeah. And he's actually raised the turn.
Oh, I
and
think
Amir
you
calls.
thought Daniel had 10-5.
No, well, I didn't notice the 2-pair in the river.
Oh,
King.
okay.
And Amir's 10-5 isn't looking so hot anymore. Third spade, it's a one-liner, but he's
Daniel-
going to take it down.
Yeah, Daniel doesn't use that third spade.
No.
And Amir takes it down with the 10-5 there.
Yep.
10-5, by the way, is the... what straight can't you make with 10-5? Part? the 9 high straight.
That's right.
That Russ Fox won that massage with.
Yeah.
Him? You were watching him which game?
Did he ever get the massage?
Were you playing on the first table?
He hasn't asked for it yet.
He's turning.
I offered it to him a couple
And
of
he
times.
wouldn't do it on the show.
He didn't want to do it on the show. He thought it made him look like a...
A pansy?
Yeah, exactly. That was the exact word. He thought it made him look like a pansy. So for whatever reason, hey. I personally, somebody wants to pay for a massage for me, I will take it anywhere, anytime, including now.
Well, people are calling. I'll tell Barry, those of you in 2+2 land, that he might, maybe he can make a post about that hand. And
Phenomenal. I mean, really phenomenal call.
And
I
what
can't
we
believe he made it.
what we will do, because I think it's the biggest hand in the history of Live on the Bike, is I will post, or Dave and I will post, the exact action of the hand and the exact amount of the bets and the exact stack sizes left at the end of the show,
Yeah.
so we can replay that hand. And maybe somebody can teach me how to post that up in the no limit form too, high limit, no limit, because I think it's a great hand to look at.
Amir here with top pair.
And Amir has check raised 200. And Barry bet on the 6, and he's gotten check raised. And he's going to give it up.
I mean, the one thing about Barry is it's not like he blindly just calls. You know, he doesn't blindly just call everybody. He's not a calling station like Jesus or like Ed. He just happened to think.
They open Saturday. That night.
If we brought that, yeah, maybe stuff on Saturday.
Let's just do it in text. Let's.
Mo was rebought for $5,500.
Yeah.
What was he waiting for? For the show to be over? Now Mo won a couple of pots here. He called down the ace. He called down Ed with those with those aces. And Ed has been missing in action for a little bit here. We'll get another player in there in a second. But our webcast is winding down. You can catch us Monday through Fridays now, 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific time.
And we have a couple more hands left. Let's address this comment by Jive Jadson on 2+2. He said Kenna wasn't thinking ahead when he in that hand when he bet the 5,000. If he was planning to bluff, if the board paired, he should have saved more bullets.
That's a good point by Jive. It's a good point. I like the point there. Obviously,
But what is he going to do? Check call the turn?
Yeah, the problem is when you bet 1,500.
Yeah.
When Barry bets 1,500.
Yeah.
To check raise 3,000 just isn't enough. You've got to check raise up to 5,000 or so. I mean, to be honest with you, the hand probably should have been over right there, right then and there.
Well, if he had check raised all in there, but the funny thing is the 10. That's a scarier board than the board
And
is.
Look
with,
at this chip
with the
count.
turn.
Wow.
Yeah, Barry's got 21,000.
Loy is I haven't seen him win many pots, but he's got $7,500.
I don't know if he.
I guess if you can't win him, you just buy him.
Yeah.
And he just keeps buying. Can't win chips, so he just keeps buying in, more and more.
Dave, what I was saying about the hand is that the board is scarier on the river for pocket jacks than it is on the turn, don't you think?
Right, but I guess his point and your point before were, if I'm Barry and I only have $4,000 left.
Yeah.
The pot's 20,000, 21,000. Am I gonna call it before? Maybe.
Yeah. Here we go to the flop here. In the email has ended. The votes are tallied, and Kenna's going to win.
Yeah, the final one here. Kenna finished up with 21 votes. Ramsey with 11. Barry with 4. Ed with 9. And Loy with 7. And Kenna's going to win it with 21 votes.
The river's a 6, and I think that did Kenna just bluff at this one and win? Or no, he just got it checked down. And different people go on tilt in different ways, Dave. I think he's turning a little bit weak tight now. Ask Phil Allen.
Well, I think he just wants to kind of slow it down and forget it.
This is going to be the last hand of the night.
Just not his day.
Yeah, last hand of the night.
Kenna, it's amazing. Kenna obviously has luck at the Bicycle Casino. Mm-hmm. You can see him obviously second place in the Legends of Poker tournament, but not much luck at this table.
Yeah. So again, we're gonna try to post up the exact action of that hand on our thread here. People can look it up.
This is one of the biggest games in the sense of a lot of money on this table.
Yeah.
5 more hundred, got it.
Look at this. Kenna has raised to 500 with 7-4 offsuit. He's going to take it down.
500, he takes it down.
Well, that's going to do it for us
Well,
tonight.
there you go. Kenna wins it in a slam dunk.
Dave, it was a pleasure to
Yes.
do the show with you again, and Kenna wins this bottle of wine.
Do I have to give it to him?
Unfortunately, I mean, he made a great play. Probably looking at the biggest pot in the history of Live at the Bike, and probably the best hand. I mean,
Yeah.
strategy-wise, it's right up there.
Yeah, I love watching the creative play of good players. You know, their minds working, their wheels turning. And tonight we really saw it over and over again. It was really a highlight reel all night.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for us. And that's going to do it for us this week. So join us on Monday at 6 o'clock Pacific time for everybody here on the booth. And David Tuckman, good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.